Can I hear myself? There we go. All right. Hey, hey, Holiday, Cherish, how are you guys doing? Um, hey, what's up, monks? How are you doing over on Twitch? Hey, I hope everybody's doing good today. Yeah. So I think this is the second stream where I am not making it a point to watch the necessary conversation because I've been doing some editing and yeah, so essentially I kind of found out that if I just do a vague lookup of the content by using there's a transcript tool that someone just released I think a couple months ago, I can find anything I need. So watching it is kind of moot, especially since like after watching not yesterday's episode, but the episode before, yeah, I don't see, I don't really know what's going on there. It's the same old, same old. Hey D Mooney, how are you doing? Monks, do you remember me? I would be lying if I was like, yes, I remember you, off the top of my head. Hey, what's up, Ginger? How are you doing? But yeah, I literally was just like, yeah, I'm just digging through it. Oh. It was horrific yesterday. They didn't pick my question again anyways. Yeah. The Wild Monkey, just the Wild Monkey was my old username. Oof. Don't take it take it personally. I don't remember. Dig harder. Yeah, was there anything of note yesterday other than her just being, I don't know. I saw something in one of the Discords basically saying that Chad's like, "Oh, she's getting better." But Bob is, stifling that getting better, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Oh, they were all pissed. Oh God, don't worry. But you didn't. As I rarely use Twitch now. Yeah, I stream on 2 different platforms now, and I legitimately most of the people who hang out are on YouTube. They're on YouTube. But yeah, I don't know. Oh my gosh, she was terrible yesterday. Of course, I might dig through tomorrow or yesterday's episode to see if I can find anything. Was there anything valid or useful? I'll take a note on it, and I'm trying to find a few more things for this video that I would say like 80% done with. She's insufferable. Yeah, of course she's insufferable. You don't stream on TikTok, Cross? I used to stream on TikTok, but TikTok is a wasteland. Plus, some of the stuff I stream on stream would not work on TikTok. She basically admitted that she supports Trump because she doesn't want to believe the reality of his administration. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. Yeah, any sort of anti-Trump commentary or anything like that does not track on TikTok, and you get shadow banned. You get banned in general. So yeah, they didn't use my question either. Yeah. TikTok is for self-censorship. Yeah. The only stuff I would put up on TikTok is the Magic the Gathering content that I make. That's about it. And even then, I don't even like putting it up there because it's just a bunch of radicalized weirdos who just sit on TikTok all day saying crazy shit. It was bad. I just skimmed through it. Haley was over it halfway through. Yeah. Well, that'll be interesting for the video. I'll skim it too as well. I just personally don't really give 2 shits about the show right now. She was caught in some monstrous dissonance between her stance on state sovereignty and Massachusetts' recent abortion policy change. Okay, look. I don't know how you square that that peg being a conservative who is for less government, but then also preaching for more government. It doesn't make sense to me, but she's kind of fucking stupid, if I'm gonna be blunt. She's like one of the dumb. Like I watched a few clips from the Wednesday episode, and then just from what I read yesterday, I was just like, I don't fucking care. Oh, she was completely casual and oblivious about the racism. I love it. The Good Liars on YouTube? I have, actually. We can watch some of it today, too. Also, she also farted at 4:11. Okay, I'm going to include that. Okay, hold on. Let me mark that on my notes. I have a notes, all right, for this particular reason. Hey, what, Criven? What's up? My question was, when you expect the government to stop the president, is it because you're hoping the deep state will keep Trump in check? Yeah, so look, you cannot reason with the unreasonable at this point. It almost made me drop the plate I was washing. Hell, fucker. I don't know. I look, the only person I have hope for is Haley. I'm back in Minneapolis. My question was public land related in funding being taken from for Trump's projects, and it had Old Faithful erupting. That's kind of cool. I could tell it was ignorant racism. I don't even allow her to live in the world of just being like, yeah, I don't know that I'm being racist, because she knows she's being racist. You can definitely tell when she is confronted with it. She's like, no, I'm not. And you know she is. You know deep down inside she knows she is. She's just saying it. All racism is ignorant. 100%. I think she's just purposely racist and then hides behind that cover. What about the Temple Jubilee though? Oh, we are watching that today. I watched part of it and I was all like, this guy's a little bitch. It'd be pretty fun to watch. I look forward to the day Haley cuts him off. I don't think that's gonna happen. I would love for that to happen, but that's not gonna happen, I don't think. At some point, she has to realize having a mother like that and giving her a platform will backfire on her. I think I'm kind of over it. I think, like I said, I have 2 videos left in me, and I think I'm like completely fucking done. Like I'm completely fucking done. There's a bit of a like moral sort of like high road I feel like I have to take lately. Especially with the fact that it just doesn't feel like anything on the show is progressing forward. It feels like they started to kind of like trick the audience into think that they're kind of moving forward, and then they kind of go, oh wait, no, now that Bob's home, she's now radicalized again. It's like, okay. Temple has looked like he's seen some shit. Old Leatherface? Yeah. I spent 2 years in Spain, and as a Hispanic, I was surprised by the type of racism I encountered there. Over there, it was ignorant racism. In the U.S., it's more on purpose, if that makes sense. Like I said, I kind of equate it to the like what I hear about. Like I had a friend who was a English teacher in Japan, and she's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white girl. And they would come up to her and they would tug on her hair and stuff like that. And it's just one of those things that's like, it's a taboo sort of like, I've never seen this before. You're almost treated as like an object. And I feel like that's kind of what I would probably put in the ignorant sort of category of racism, or stereotypes that people learn when they don't have interactions with those type of people, like for instance, okay, look, I can go down a rabbit hole. We all know stereotypes, right? Racism in Europe is not as institutionalized as it is in the U.S., which makes sense, yeah. Then you're saying Bob may come back next Sunday. So I asked Gavin Newsom that question for you at that funeral. What'd he say? I would probably also... Did I ask Netanyahu or Ben Shapiro? I think it was Ben Shapiro's nuts. I would have asked both. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, we're going to watch it, though. I have it pulled up. And then I had some other stuff that I was going to pull up, but I think I might save it for Wednesday. I have a Pondering Politics video from today that I'm just kind of like, I kind of wanted to watch it with you. Trump is pulling out of South Korea and essentially saying, hey, we're going to kind of slow down military exercises in the area. And South Korea is kind of like panicking, like, hey, you need to talk to North Korea and make sure this is not going to fuck us. So I know that was like the one big thing that came up today. And I think they were going to bomb or talking about dropping nukes on another country as well. I was like, yeah. Just let us know when you're planning on doing Ren reaction. I'll be there, Joel. Yeah, I am. So I'm trying to think. This week is kind of rough because I've got a new doctor visit on Wednesday. And then I'm going to probably be on Thursday, but only for a couple of hours. Reason being, I have a game that night. And the last, I'm not even joking, the last 2 weeks, I have been just swamped. I have another project I'm working on right now. And it's taking up a lot of time. Plus, I'm getting ready to go to SGC SGC, Star City Games convention in September, which is I'm going to be leaving probably Thursday night. And then, but it's not going to affect stream schedule. So I'm going to try and enter the modern Magic the Gathering tournament that's happening. I mean, at least I'll get a card out of it if I completely just fucking bomb. Like, I remember trying to make a black and white joke and it flew over people's heads. Over there, it's more like, well, you're black, so shouldn't this be the case? Versus where it's, you're black, so fuck you. Yeah, here, where it's, yeah, you're black, so fuck you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I that makes sense. Like I said, I kind of equate kind of the quote unquote ignorant sort of not understanding of social boundaries or personal boundaries to be more kind of in the realm of ignorant. And then the institutionalized stuff being yeah, no, you were taught this. You can unlearn it. You can't. You can always teach. You can always also help someone kind of through the whole ignorant racist thing as well. Ben Shapiro, he had a whole thing about the left and right being siloed and wanting to speak to his audience. Newsom wanted to expose Shapiro's audience was basically just, yeah, I know that's what he's trying to do. And I know that's the talking point, but the problem is platforming someone like Ben Shapiro, who, to be very honest with you, does not have a real audience, is not worth it. It's just not worth it. Look, we're not doing, we're not doing this on a really popular show Candace Owens or even Fox News or things like that. We're doing this with Ben Shapiro, who is on a failing fucking platform at this point. His whole entire platform, dead. And he's blaming Biden for logistical issues in the Strait now. What a fucking moron. Fucking idiot. Yeah, what's up with Trump distancing us from South Korea? I think it actually has more. My theory is I haven't really dug into it, but my theory is that we're running out of essentially military weapons. I think we're running out of bombs. We're running out of all that stuff, and he's trying to consolidate as much as possible. It's turning on Blue Sky. He's a fucking moron. Oh, that's right. He wants to bomb Oman, right? First day of school is tomorrow for my house. Oh, my niece had her first day the other day. We got some pictures, and I was like, "Oh shit, Taco Tuesday is tomorrow." I wish I could be here. I wish I could be here tomorrow. I have EMDR at 1, or no, 2, so I wouldn't get off until 3. So if I did do a stream tomorrow, either I would first of all be just completely fucked. And then 2, it would just be we're hanging out. How much longer can MAGA blame Biden for? It's been a year and a half. It's been more than a year and a half. Honestly, they've been blaming him well before he was even in office, too. It's mind-blowing each day how much of an idiot Trump is. 100%. It's not even mind-blowing. It is just kind of the norm. I'm just like, I'm here right now where I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, he's going to say some stupid shit. Now, the question is how many people believe him? You know? From what I can tell, quite a bit. This is the first year I'm not sending my kid to school. They graduated in June. It's weird not getting ready for school this year. Hey, it must be nice, though. It catches me constantly. I just live in a state of like, oh, what did he say today? Oh, yeah. He's blaming someone else? Oh, yeah. 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 It makes sense. If they make things more difficult, they're getting killed, of course. It's just blatantly fascist at this point. I feel like it ramps up. It only feels that way because it does feel like we are just on this weird trajectory where every day keeps getting worse and worse and worse in terms of like what's happening with the Iran war. Trump saying stuff like he's going to do X, Y, and Z to, you know, what country or that country or this country, whatever, right? There's just so much of that shit happening on a day to day. And here's what I tell myself. There is only so much of that you can actually listen to before you're just like, look, this dude is going to talk a bunch of mad shit because he likes the fucking attention. He loves it. He loves saying wild shit and then having everyone go, oh, I can't believe he said that. The thing that you should be more concerned about is, in my opinion, is the fact that Congress has not stepped in to do anything to prevent him from going down this road, right? They haven't even stopped him from having this illegal war with Iran. That's the scary thing. That is the scary thing. The Good Liars video is scary because look at the way the cult supports Trump, but when you ask them questions, they don't have answers. Of course they don't. Congress is in his pocket. Yeah, look, in my personal opinion, he's got dirt on every single person in Congress, and he's using it to either A, blackmail them, or B, Congress has been corrupt, this entire time, which I kind of lean in that court, and they're just making money hand over fist, basically betting against everybody else. I think they're all trading in oil futures and shit like that. I think they're just trading in general. I think there's so much insider trading going on right now in Congress that they're loving this. They're like, oh shit, I'm making out like a bandit. I don't care if I get fucking like nuked from space. I'll get to live for fucking ever off this money. Using lethal force is Trump's solution to every problem. That's why what the fascists symbolize. Yeah. The Good Liars video is scary, to be honest. We can watch that. I didn't even know they came out with one, by the way. But see Texas apartment searching for marijuana since the law changed. I don't know how many, but at least one guy posted about it. That makes sense. Look, the Conservative Party of fascists. Sorry. They talked about having freedom or these personal freedoms, having less government in your lives, and they're the ones implanting more government. They love this. They're like, yep, this is what we want. And then it comes under the guise of like, we're just getting rid of all the bad guys. It's like, go fuck yourselves. You guys are the bad guys. Yeah, Trump doesn't care about killing anybody and everybody. Yeah. Oh shit, I believe Trump is pumping money out of the US economy using world instability to create the volatility needed to buy the dips. And I then believe he's moving his money out of the US. I believe it has been stated that he's got a bank account. Is it a Qatari bank account? And money's been kind of going back and forth. I think some of the money from, I believe Venezuela was going to that bank account as well. So he was saying, hey, I'm going to audit this money. I'm going to decide where this money goes. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember where exactly that bank account was at. Let's see. What's he going to switch it to? Euro? No. Euro's doing pretty poor too. He said the story about the poor conditions on the USS Abraham Lincoln is fake news. I saw that earlier today. Hopefully he will lose more supporters who say that they respect the military. Well, you know how they're going to talk themselves out of it. They're like, oh, that's just the Navy. We don't support the Navy. I'm kidding though. I would hope so, but I don't. I have no faith in anyone who idolizes or even still supports Trump. I don't have that faith in people, I guess. I don't know. I think he's diversifying between crypto, yen, sterling, and euro dollars. I think he is diversifying. I don't think he's dumping money into crypto though. Crypto was his rug pull. And I think he knows that. I think he knows that crypto is it's a losing horse in this whole entire race. France cashed in their gold. Yeah, that makes sense. I was looking at definitions of fascism, and at this point, every definition is accurate. Yeah, they're fascists at this point. We can't even you can't even come up with a good response to that answer by like saying like we're not fascist because of X, Y, and Z. Everything they're doing is stripping people of their rights, deporting people they don't like. I mean, threatening to deport American citizens, removing citizenship from people who have citizenship. Like it is fuck. Crypto isn't doing well. Was it a year or two ago when everybody was into Bitcoin waiting for it to break 100K? It did break 100K, and then it after it hit like 115, it dropped all the way down to 70. Then people pumped that to 85, 90. Then it dropped down to 60. Then people tried to pump that. At that point, I was like, I don't even fucking care. Like, this is all a fucking joke. This is all a fucking joke. It doesn't fucking matter, ML was totally incongruous. Congruous. Oh god, I can't say the word. In short-circuiting this last TNC. I heard. I am going to probably skim the episode. I'm still trying to finish one more video. Technically, I have two videos. One is going to take a much longer than I'm even prepared to even talk about. But yeah, this last video is kind of my like, hey, guess what, guys? She's not changing for you. She's not changing for anybody. She's not changing. Like, you guys are gonna have to get the fuck over this. This is all fucking done. It's all fucking done. All right. A former MAGA friend doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Every time we talk, he complains about Trump, and if I speak, it comes off as "I told you so," no matter what it is. I mean, at this point, it should be a "I told you so." We had that one individual who was in here last week who's all like, we should be mad at all MAGA, and I think, or we should. Sorry, he used a different word. He used the K word, which was, we should get rid of all of them. And I don't believe that. I think we should hold them accountable for their decisions, but at the same time, I don't think anyone should die because they voted for Trump. I think they should take this as a learning, like, a lesson. Watching the rise of U.S. Republican fascism reminds me of being that frog who doesn't notice they're slowly being boiled. Yeah, I almost told the story I heard about the boiling water experiments with frogs, but no, truthfully, we are at that point where people have gotten so comfortable with this ramp up to where we've gotten to. I think it started well before the 90s. I think it started in the 70s, but it was a slow moving coup. And now they just ramped it up. It is becoming very hard to not notice what's happening. ML would change Trump's diaper before changing her mind. Yeah. She would eat the shit out of Trump's diaper before changing her mind. Like if Trump said, do it, she would do it. I am anti-fascist. The government shouldn't be killing people. Yeah, 100%. If you read through the comments on the last TNC episode, a good amount of them were people saying that they're done with TNC because ML was so disgusting. Good. I saw the writing on the walls literally a couple weeks ago. You guys could probably tell I was just like, I'm done. I'm done. Yeah, her go-to response is now is I don't know. What was the other one? I don't, I don't see it that way. She's now saying I don't see it that way so fucking much that it is a tick now. And then I'll have to look into that. I can't use Chat GPT was one that came up. I've heard it a couple times in some of the stuff that she said. Or I need to Chat GPT that. I'm like, what the fuck, bitch? I'm afraid my boss is MAGA. She's Cuban from Miami, but she's cool. I know why Cubans feel the way they do and why they kind of lean conservative, but I would think now they could be looking at this being like, ugh. The African proverb about the elephant and the scorpion is also an appropriate metaphor. She says electric gloves are going to be used in schools. Omaha is on board. Wait, what are we talking about? John, what have you read? Came in the middle of the convo, but funny because in my book, I'm doing a section on how Republican stances were always fake, but MAGA has really put it in everyone's face and can't ignore. Yeah, well, the thing is, I think when it comes to the conservative side of things, I think deep down inside, this is what they wanted. I think when Mary Lou says things like, I don't like that, I don't think she really means what she's saying. I think she's like, no, this is a natural progression. If you go to the earlier episodes of the show, they discuss race wars way more than they should. Like, shit's going to get bad, and, and then also the talks about white supremacy not being a bad thing. Yeah. 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 Yeah, it's something that they have hid behind, like, oh, we're good people. We don't really believe in any of that stuff. And deep down inside, no, they do believe it. They do believe it. And willfully ignorant at this point. Yeah, she is. I don't think she's ignorant. I think she just doesn't fucking give a shit. And I think she's doing the show because it is a thing that she gets kudos from. Like, people are like, they love it when she says shit like, it's on, it's another X on my list. She likes that attention. That's why she says the shit that she says. Have you watched Stickman talks on YouTube? He talks about politics and theoretical scenarios of what could be. No, I haven't. I'll check them out though. I'll check them out. You have to remember, ML and Bob are from the 60s, and civil rights was a bigger deal for them. It should have been an even bigger deal. It should have been a watershed moment. Like that should be something that is in their brains. Like, we cannot go back to what this was, The Net Angle provides a good summary of the state of TNC. I need to sit down and watch a few of their videos. They popped up on my feed a few times, and here's my thing. I as someone who does commentary, I don't know if I necessarily do like recorded commentary, but I do edits. This is recorded. I sometimes like to go in with my own sort of like take on things, and sometimes when I'm listening to someone else, I'm like, oh, that's a good angle. I kind of like to not have that taint when it goes into, that sounds really weird to say, I guess influence when it goes into editing. I'm not sure if she's ignorant for real or it's all fake. I think it's all fake. First time she actually got heckled by someone and not adored in public, she'll want to quit. She's already done that. You go on the lives, anytime someone pokes fun at her, she fucking loses her fucking mind. Yeah, she's already left some lives when people get mean with her. Yeah. The fact she walked into the episode wearing the Trump hat after his comments about the ship told us all what she felt about the military. Yeah, she doesn't care. That she hides behind the flag just like Trump does, where it is this thing of like, you can't touch me because I support the troops, and it's all like, no, you don't. You don't fucking believe any of that shit. You don't care. You don't absolutely care. You don't care at all about anything. That is the truth about Mary Lou. She doesn't care about anything. she is in my mind, she is truly a sociopath, and like, I don't know. Like, to me, I feel it's really weird to lie that hard. Actually walked, yeah, okay, hold on, that makes a little sense. Yeah, I know. But every time she mentions being seen in public, it is a nice encounter. I think it's because of where she lives. Oh, 100%. Yeah, living in Oklahoma, yeah. No one is walking up to her being like, I can't believe what you said. You know, everything that you're saying is misinformed and racist, and you should really educate yourself. No one's saying that shit. They're like, oh, yeah, give it to your daughter and your son. Yeah. Yeah, daughter, yes, you should have done some more, disciplining, stuff, shit like that. They love that shit. She's so proud of being a terrible person. Yeah. She went back to the Trump hat too. I think she did. I saw a clip last night when I was editing, and I was just like, okay. I don't think trying to help her be a better person by calling out her shitty behaviors and attitudes is not being mean. Look, I am one of those people who I think if they really want to, quote unquote, like put her into this, like really lay down the gauntlet, they need to have someone in there who deals with political cults, and then have them work with her for a little bit. And if she can't get out of that, then write her off. Write her off, Republicans say supporting troops require supporting government and the war and the president and all that equals patriotism. And it doesn't. That is not true. I tend to support non-lethal solutions for law enforcement. I'm not a fan of tasers for the same reason I don't like the gloves. I don't like... I don't like lethal solutions. I also don't like people reaching for a taser, because I think that also can escalate a situation too. And some people just tank a fucking taser. Like, they tank it. I live in Oklahoma and deliver in her town. If I ever see her, I will tell her she needs to get it together. Please let me know how it goes. I do try to avoid the whole ad hominem thing, and I think others need to as well, even though ad hominem is her favorite comorbidity. It is. Parnas just came out and said Trump voted by mail-in Florida election taking place tomorrow. Of course he did. I could have told you that, rules for thee, not for me, right? Newsmax tells her if she agrees with them, she's a good person, supports the troops, etc. It's weird, but she believes them. TV media propaganda is so good at brainwashing. It is. I do believe... Look, I'll say this. I think years of Fox News has done damage to a certain part of the population. I grew up around it, and I've seen it, and it's awful. It's fucking awful. But I firmly believe that she's just mean and hateful. I don't even think Newsmax is part of that equation. Hold on. I think she needs to have more people her age call her out. I think so too. Bob is out, about to come back. I heard. Allegedly, Chad was still in the live last night saying she's still making progress. Yeah, I heard. I saw the thing in the Discord server, and I kind of laughed. You can't honestly believe that now. Her age, and also needs to be a man because she hates women. Yep. I think she hears criticism from the left as a byproduct of youth, which she needs to fucking scrap that kind of mentality. We'll update. The Bulwark is saying DSA is a Republican psyop. Yes, that makes total sense. Is there a TNC Discord? There is. There's actually there is a more private one, and then there is a public one that Chad is a part of. I refuse to respond in that Discord, by the way. How do you plan to evolve your channel as you shift away from TNC? So we're going to be doing more broad topics. I'm thinking about doing kind of high-level overviews of things that I think a lot of people are scared to talk about, i.e., like, discussing AIPAC and its impact on politics is one of the videos I had planned. I do want to do a video talking about cults and how it is easy for people to get absorbed into cults using Mary Lou as kind of the basis for the video, even though I don't necessarily think she is the best person for that. As time has gone on, I feel like I've changed my mind a little bit. And then I do want to do more just general sort of like hangout sessions where we do more of the dissecting the popular topics of the time and even some of the lesser known news that is happening. I really just want to get away from focusing solely on TNC, because here's the thing. And the reason I did so fucking much TNC is I actually put out my first fucking community post on YouTube. I said, hey, would people be willing for me to make videos that are not TNC focused? One asshole in I'm saying asshole, and I'm using it lovingly, said, no, we're here for TNC. And I went, okay. I said, I guess I've got to do that. And don't get me wrong, it was nice. It was nice to do that for a little bit, but my thing is, like, I have gotten to the point where I'm like, what video do I do about Mary Lou? What video do I do about Bob? Because everything that I've said about Bob is summed up in 2 videos. Everything I said about Mary Lou is technically summed up in like a handful of videos. Like, you don't even need to go any further than like the first like 5 videos I made. It's really, like, for me, it's flabbergasting. It flabbergasts me to think that people are like, I am here just to get the same content just shoved down my goddamn throat. Like, to me, like, I get bored with that. I am someone who does not, and from a viewer perspective, I get bored. Oh no, was I the asshole? I may have been the asshole, unsure. No, I don't know. If it was you, I think you've probably changed your mind a little bit on me. Speaking as a former brat, supporting the troops equals making sure you use military judiciously and making sure they have everything they need to do their job when it becomes necessary. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think having some form of defense is good, and allowing the military to operate within the confines of protecting is my, like, that is where I want it to live. Jon Stewart would make a great leader. Not only is he reasonably well-spoken, critical thinker, he's been in the business of paying attention to politics of the entire country for decades. I think Jon Stewart is a good middle ground between having someone that is a career politician / like moderate Democrat, and then having a fully progressive candidate. As much as I know people want AOC to like run, I don't think AOC would win. AOC has so much baggage because of people like Mary Lou and the falsities that come out from those people. I think you'd be good at politics for dummy type videos. I don't know if you have animation experience, but you'd make a nice voiceover actor for that style. I don't have animation experience per se, but I've got editing experience, and I think if I can come at it from the angle of comedy, I think it'd be kind of fun. And he has the humility to defer to industry experts. Yeah. I was already going to stop if Bob came back. I bet they lose a ton of viewers since a majority of their audience is left. I think Bob would be the only reason I would watch the show, as I think it is the only reason people... I mean, honestly, it's the only reason I watched, because it was just so fascinating to see someone so unhinged. But I don't even care. I just don't even fucking care. Like, I've watched the show so much, and there is a Groundhog's Day-esque sort of element to the show lately that I'm like done. Like, it just feels like we go through the same fucking questions over and over and over again. And repetition for me is not good. Who cares about AOC and her eggs? I saw that clip, by the way, and I was just like, that is going in the video, by the way. That and the Fauci miscarriage thing is going in there too, because it just is indicative of the way that Mary Lou just gets misinformed. Oh my God, Mary Lou continues her horrible take on AOC and her freezing her eggs. Yeah, I don't care if Jon Stewart runs; he needs to be conscripted. Okay. I've been told I have a good radio voice. I wish I had a better voice. What about whiteboard with color pens, animation? Could there be something interesting to be made about cults or MAGA using that medium? I think there's a lot of different things and a lot of different ways to kind of like crack this egg. I'm gonna try a couple different things. Hey Arrow, how are you doing? I'm gonna try a couple different things for the channel. There's gonna be some trial and error. We're gonna see what's gonna work and what doesn't work. I'm still gonna do my, I think, edits every once in a while when something like hits me where I'm like, oh, that hits my like, I gotta do some weird edits. Like I'm having a hard time right now editing the Mary Lou video because I'm just like, I'm listening to this woman. I'm like, why am I giving this woman like even a decimal amount of like attention? At the same time, I'm also like, hey, it'd be good to send off to just be like, boom, here's my final statement on Mary Lou. AOC is not extracting eggs in front of a camera. She's taking hormone injections, which are scheduled. It's not a virtual signal to women. ML is up her own ass on that. ML is also fucking misogynistic. I say we take Jon Stewart out for drinks, roofie him, create AI campaign ads, and then wake him up after he wins the election. Yeah, I think, I'll be honest with you, I think Jon Stewart... Look, I'll say this. I think Jon Stewart is the best. If you're going to pick any sort of personality that is currently in the Democratic Party, I think he's the best option. Do I think he could win? I think so. I think he's likable enough. He has to tone down the... I think the sarcasm can be kind of much, especially for people who he's digging at. For me, I love it. I don't mind it. I think it's great. But I think the people who might be swayed to vote for him might also have really fragile egos. Yeah. Oh my God. AOC is doing something hundreds of thousands of women have already done, but suddenly it's a problem. Yeah. 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 Because it's AOC. It doesn't matter. Jon Stewart for president with John Oliver as vice president. Can John Oliver run as vice president? Can he? Weekend at Stewie's. Jon Stewart for president. Yeah, hold on. If John versus JD, he wins in a landslide. Yeah, I think the Republican Party would probably put Marco Rubio up. I think he's the golden child. Have fun, guys. I'll try to pop in and out. Grandkids want Meemaw to get on Fortnite and help them. Oh, God. They come first. Of course. Yeah, go have fun. Probably needs to be U.S. born. Yeah, I was thinking John Oliver is a filthy European. In defense of 9/11, first responders and families. That was actually a really good video, by the way. Really good video. I enjoy watching Jon Stewart present himself in a non-comedic fashion because he's very passionate. And I think that will speak towards people. Peter Thiel needs JD for president? You think so? Yo, search up Stickman Talks latest video. He talks about possible 2028 Republican presidential candidates. Who did he say? I'll go grab them real quick. Here, you know what? We'll cut over to Pondering Politics, which I do like. JS is very charismatic, smart, and a leader. I thought you were talking about me at first, and I was like, thank you. But then at the same time, I was like, yes, Jon Stewart. Yes, he is. I laughed for a second. I was all like, oh. I think sarcasm is just part of the comedy act, but he has a serious side that is extremely pointed. I completely agree. You too, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate that. I respect sarcasm. I do too. I'm just thinking optics-wise. I always go down that rabbit hole of like the thought experiment of like, how will that candidate play to all sides? And to moderates, I think they could go either way. And with Republicans, they're snowflakes and they can't handle shit. Hi y'all. Can we form a group to just debunk all the BS that Necessary talks about? Honestly, when we were watching the episodes, my biggest issue is like there's a lack of research being done on Chad's side. And Haley's a little bit better about it, but my thing is like, look, Chad grabs the news for the day, he kind of reads it, then he kind of goes in guns a-blazing, you know? I'm not a fan of it. I think there are better things to talk about. And I think there are actually more important things to talk about than the news on their podcast. I think there is a conversation to talk about like, hey, why do you feel the way that you feel, Mary Lou? Because that's the stuff that I want to know. Like, why, how did you get from this point to this point? And can we talk about the inherent, like, sort of like weird sort of racism that comes out? Why do you have such a disdain for someone like Mamdani, and you bring up, you know, Islamic people praying in the streets in New York? Like, tell me more about that. Why does that scare you? Why is that bad, but it's okay for you and your friends and your loved ones to go out and pray in public? Why is that? Explain that to me. That's the stuff that I want to know. Did you watch Fetterman on Stewart's podcast? Yes, Fetterman is a fucking idiot. I don't know why no one has pulled the fucking plug on that situation, being like, you are not doing any more, no more media for you, John. No more. The way he eviscerated the one dude on gun rights and the leading cause for child deaths in America was scary good example of Jon Stewart on the right side of history. Yeah. A sarcasm is a riff between the author of sarcastic wit and the people who don't get it. John's interview with Donald Rumsfeld would have sent Tim Pool running. That would make him see. That's what I'm saying, though. Like there is a conversation. Like if you want to have the quote unquote necessary conversation, break down the racism without a sense of entitlement and anger. Break it down. Explain it to me. Where does this come from? Tell me why that actually hurts you and how does that affect you? Why do you focus on that instead of the fact that he has dropped crime down 30%? Even if you're racist, you can admit that that is like a great thing, right? Making like places affordable for people, that is a good thing. Like that, these things, like having the ability for people to get food cheaper, that's a good thing. No one else is doing that. How can you hold such disdain for someone just because of who they are and apparently the color of their skin? Why do you have that anger in your heart when this guy is just trying to take care of a group of people? I think the only issue with Haley is this. Haley gets hot, like as in like angry. And I feel like it has to come from someone who is not a child. Because Mary Lou thinks that her kids are talking down to her every time they have a conversation. And that's why she gets defensive. I think if you take them out and you put someone like Mehdi Hassan in front of her, and he goes through and breaks everything down and explains to her why this is harmful, I think that would be more impactful than having Haley or Chad do it. You know? Hey, what's up? Olo? Let's see. Christian nationalism is the Christian version of Sharia law. The ability of MAGA to see parallels is insane. Yeah. It is the hypocrisy, the contradiction. ML fears everyone outside of her family. Think back. Even when she talked about her meeting with Jules and getting to know her. That's trauma. I hate to say it. Like, I'm terrified of meeting new people, you know? Mehdi said he doesn't debate fascists. This would not be a debate, all right? This would be a sit down. This would be a conversation. ML cannot debate. ML does not have an iota of what fucking debating actually is. She would melt down in a real debate. Like, it would take 30 seconds and she'd be like, I'm out. Um, let's see. Let Fetterman do as much media as possible. Shows how brain dead he is. True. She defers to Chad over Haley all the time. It's weird because Chad's a male. That is the only reason. And she identifies quote unquote with Chad like they're very similar. And Haley's just like their dad. Hassan would be a good one. I think Hassan and Mehdi Hassan would be good as well. I think both. I don't think either Sharia law or Christian nationalism for the exact reason because they're both offensive to the notion of freedom of religion. I agree. Yeah, she's just unwilling to be proven wrong by her kids. She just blinks when they outlogic her. Yeah, the blinking is a very, very huge tell. You know, who the fuck is Tim Pool? Never heard of him. I'll show you who Tim Pool is. You'll see him and be like, oh, I know who that is. You'll know exactly. Here we go. It's this guy. It's this freak of nature. This penis with a fucking beard. Blinks. Yeah, either works. Yeah, she just sit there and just goes like. Is my favorite thing to cut in is her just pausing and then trying to like compute something and then just blinking. And then them just berating her and it's just like, yeah, she's not picking this up. But he looks like JD Vance with a beanie. You know what? You're right. How about we start with this one? I'm going to run downstairs. I've seen actually, I think like 90% of this, but I thought it was funny because there's a few key takeaways from this thing that are fascinating. But I need to run downstairs real quick and go grab something. All right. Luigi's guilty plea was strategic and incredible. Yes, it was. And a lot of people were panicking about it, but the prosecution is panicking right now. I think double jeopardy is kind of coming up as a talking point right now amongst them. So, yeah. Hey, Eridus, how are you doing? My dad says stupid shit like this all the time. Also, hi, why are we watching Cole Post channel? We're watching it just because it is kind of funny. This is one of the few debates that I will watch with people. I typically hate Jubilee. And first of all, look. It is a channel that is just built to just farm views. Is what it is. But this debate is funny. The least interesting one I have seen was the new one with Monty Mater. Oh yeah, really? This one's kind of funny though. This one also did not rile me up at all. At fucking all. I was watching it and I was just listening to Tim Pool and I'm like, you are fucking out of your depth, dude. Out of your goddamn depth. This is one of the few where it's like, yeah. One cop versus 20 criminals? Damn. The left-wing violence to them is the occasional Republican mouth-breathing mongrel or CEO getting popped and not overtly guerrilla warfare like the RA. Monty Mater rocks. We like Monty Mater. I stand Monty Mater here. Only Twitch chat is showing up on screen. We can fix that. Thank you for pointing that out. That is the one thing that we can get fixed right now. Right now. Okay. Hold on.
You sure about that? You sure about that? That's why?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think we should be good now. I think. Okay. Not yet. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Hell yeah. while there's a good chance that any mass shooting is right wing in nature, I'm of the opinion that if you see a mass shooting, it is going to probably fall into the conservative realm. Um, there is a very, very slight chance it could be left leaning, but I would say 9 times out of 10, you can usually go, okay, it's some angry incel, um, angry just person who lost their job, who is leaning right. Like it is, or someone who's a radical person on the right. It's always someone like that. CEO Brian Thompson killed millions via profit-driven health policies. Luigi Mangione killed one man. It's literally the trolley dilemma in it. Yeah, it is. Even lefties are former conservatives. Yeah. Yeah. The one person they were calling a quote unquote trans, like they were saying this individual was trans. I don't even think they were technically trans, but I think they like to dress up a little bit, but they were basically touting them as a lefty, which they were not. I used to be alt-right. Yes, you did. It was last Thursday when we had the meltdown. Or Wednesday. Yeah. The one man he killed was a trolley driver. That's right. Yeah, I remember that. I remember reading about that at least. Look, do I think Luigi Mangione needs to go to prison? No, I don't. I think what he did was he proved a point. Yeah, the lefties that commit these acts were raised in GOP households. Yes, and I also agree with that too. But I'm also someone who looks at that situation and I'm like, I have no sympathy for anyone who is a healthcare, who works in healthcare, who's a CEO and who is depriving people of, benefits. I have no sympathy. Zero. Right. By the way, I do want to watch this first part. This guy right here is pretty good. He's also someone who traverses in the socialist realm as a socialist debater. Do I like debates? I do not. By the way, I just want to say this. I do not like debates. I don't think they prove anything. But when people like Tim Pool who think they're good at debating get in front of people who know how to debate, they fall apart. All in all, there's an argument to be made that all mass shootings are fascistic in nature. And the last time I can think of that, that had organized left-wing violence was the battle of Blair Mountain, which, God, how long ago was that? I mean, by the way, that's even during a period of time when I believe the parties were shifting focus, with the parties almost flip-flopping. So, that could also be considered probably right-leaning as well. Or any shootouts the Black Panthers were in. I don't know if I would lump Black Panthers in with that. And even those were usually with the cops and most likely incited by the... Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't know if I would lump those in. I just, I look at that movement and I go, yeah, I can't lump them together. Oh, Luigi definitely goes to jail. He did commit a crime, but that doesn't mean I have sympathy for Mr. Thompson either. The thing is, Luigi had nothing to lose in prison. He'll get universal health care. Yeah. All crimes are not evil. You're preaching to the choir. You're preaching to the choir. We had this discussion the other day. I am there is shades of gray to everything. And I don't believe in black and white when it comes to passing judgment on people. The conservatives during the Revolutionary War sided with the king. Conservatives during the Civil War sided with the Confederacy. I mean, that tells you a lot about conservatives. I love the way he tries to just deviate the topic into something that does not actually fucking matter in the conversation. Don't care, didn't ask, didn't happen. Plus Gigaflick. Mangione is to Thompson what David is to Goliath. Yeah. This is a biblical tale that asks you to be David. Yeah. They had all those ads running in New York before the trial started, reminding juries of nullification in New York City. I think that's a good thing. Hey, remember, guys, you can convict this guy, but you can also be like, but we don't think he deserves to go to prison. MAGA is not able to draw the parallel of. I love, instead of talking about the broad nature of this, go microscopic on this. Go dig deep into the one example that you can pull from. Just do that. Part of the Revolutionary War in 1776 was spurred on by the Boston Massacre. ICE has committed many Boston massacres.
Were endorsing it. Then what's the mainstream left?
Also, what makes the George Floyd riots left wing? That's the thing, though. I personally believe most of the rioting was done by bad actors and people who were wanting to make it look like Antifa was involved in those riots. Do I think everyone involved was, bad actors? No, I think there are some people who took advantage of that. I think there are some people who just have no qualms with just breaking into a place. Oh, I bet you there are many conservatives. I bet you there are people just being like, cool, I can go break into this place and steal shit. Like, hell yeah, let's go. But I don't believe every single person. Yeah, it's a matter of spontaneous outrage. Right. And I think there was a lot of stuff happening at that point in time. And it was a convergence of a bunch of different situations. And I don't believe everyone involved is purely from one fucking side. It was started by MAGA? Yeah. I mean, the whole entire situation was the spark that lit everything was MAGA. Boogaloo Boys were convicted in burning of the Minneapolis police precinct. Statistics show that left-wing violence is primarily in the form of property damage with isolated assault. Right-wing violence starts at property damage and ends with homicide and insurrection. And then everyone piled on. Yeah, it became a free-for-all is what I kind of viewed that situation. There were people in the middle of that who were content creators who were filming content while people were breaking into shit, while they were breaking into shit. The root cause of violence is inequality. I can't. Right wingers want to address the symptom. Left wingers want to address the illness. Yeah. Left wing violence is burning down a mom and pop shop, horror movie plot. And right wing violence is Oklahoma bombing and the bulldozer guy. The killdozer? Yeah. By the way, the I'm going to say this about, what is his name? Martin, Niedermeyer? Is that right? Did I get that right? Did I remember something? That guy did what he did in response to getting dicked around by local government. Now, what he do? Was it a good thing? No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. But he was a man who I think felt like he had nothing to lose. You remembered a name? Yeah, I did. Yeah. He was one of the few people who I literally, when the I think what the last podcast on the left did a episode on him, and I became quite fascinated with that story because it just felt like someone who was just like, I'm out of fucks. Like it is literally the plot of a 80s action film. And yeah. Like if it was an actual 80s action film, it would turn out differently, but this dude died unfortunately in his killdozer. I don't know if he harmed or killed anyone, but yeah. Hey, are you MAGA or a normal person? I'm a normal person. I'm not a conservative. I'm a very, very far left. I would say progressive. I'm probably even further left than that. Ivan Hunter was Texas right winger that traveled to MSP to light shit up. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. No, I look, being on any platform and being like, yeah. I think he killed someone if it was called Killdozer. Joel's a filthy commie. I'm a filthy commie. if you can hit kids, you don't have a problem bombing them half the world away. Right wingers hit their kids as punishment as well. They always use violence as a solution. I don't want to say all, but I think a good portion believe in. I think they believe. I think there's a portion of them that believe in capital punishment. I will say this. I grew up in the 80s, 90s. I had spankings as a punishment. But my right wing leaning parent really didn't lay hands on me as I got older. I'm talking like 8, 9, 10. I don't remember any of that. It was more verbal abuse and mental abuse. Killdozer, he got completely rooked by corrupt local politics. He hurt nobody. He only damaged property belonging to local politicos. Exactly. I was going to say, it's like, I don't think he legitimately killed anyone. They only called it Killdozer because of what he built. That's it. Because I was about to look it up. I was like, I don't think he killed anyone though. But yes, he got absolutely fucked, and he had literally no fucks to give at that point. Like I said, it would be a legitimate 80s action film if it happened in the 70s. Like he would be a folk hero. Nowadays, we look at it because it was heavily filmed from, I think, a helicopter in the area. Like the local news was filming the destruction. Yeah, egalitarian, libertarian. By the way, yeah, Tim Pool's a fucking moron. By the way, just as a heads up, I just want to point that out. If people are thinking I'm watching this because I side with Tim Pool, I fucking do not. I think Tim Pool is out of his depth. And I'm someone who can admit I'm out of my depth in certain conversations. This is just one where I look at it and I'm like, bro.
No, so my point is Black Lives Matter is not encouraging violence.
I actually got struck avoiding damaging property of people who were involved. Really? Yeah, because I know he got shot, right?
Black Lives Matter is recognizing system.
I'm going to say this. That might actually be a good video to watch together because that Killdozer thing there's a fascinating documentary. I know who that is. Yeah, damaging people who weren't involved. I was like, Killdozer, I love that doc. Yeah, the documentary is fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic.
Sweet.
You can even go down the rabbit hole of Marjorie Taylor Greene, of all people. Like, I mean, the shit that she spent. God, okay, look, I'm going to say something, and it's going to sound crazy, but I think Nick Fuentes is a grifter, and I think he says shit. Do I think he's a neo-Nazi? I think he says shit that is neo-Nazi adjacent, and I mean, loving Hitler is a fucking wild thing to say. That wasn't real nice. I think he says a lot of that shit to get to rile people up. Do I think he believes it? I don't know him, so I can't say yes or no to that. But I do think he is the epitome of 4chan culture, and these motherfuckers love that type of attention. That's the thing. I think a lot of people were taught, especially me at a young age, like a lot of people will do things for attention, be it positive or negative. And I think Nick Fuentes is the embodiment of that. I also think he took, no publicity or all publicity is good publicity. Like there's no such thing as bad publicity, Probably Facebook. No. Nick Fuentes is legitimately 4chan adjacent. Like legitimately 4chan, yeah, 4chan is really gross. Oh, I thought you meant Temple. No. I meant Nick Fuentes. Temple doesn't know what fucking 4chan is, and if he does, he knows of it as a passing thing. The hell? Oh, someone struck you? Wait. Oh, I think I got nuked on YouTube. Hold on. Joel, you got raptured. What the fuck? I have no idea. Hold on. We're gonna see what happened here. Do you be shitting on people? We'll nuke. Wait, you're back? Am I back? Oh my god, they took you down? People are saying I'm back on YouTube, by the way. Weird. Okay, hold on. Okay, I think we're back over on YouTube. I don't know what happened there. I'm double checking something. Yes, his connection is excellent. Okay. You are indeed back. Okay, cool. Seems to be back. Yeah, I was thinking if I got taken down, it might have been for Jubilee, and if that's the case, we will not watch fucking Jubilee. I feel like I'm pausing enough that if Jubilee has a problem with this, said policy violation. Interesting. I wonder if they saw it and they saw me talking and they're like, no, that's not a policy violation. Now we can notorious for that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just say fuck Jubilee then. How about that? Fuck Jubilee. They can eat my whole ass at this point. My whole ass. All right. So we'll watch something else then. Check your notifications. I did check my notifications. I did not get anything. I did not get anything. Hold on. Let me check my other notifications. Yeah, I don't have anything on my account. Oh. Weird. Yeah, fuck Jubilee. Said the exact same thing after trying to watch this one. Yuck, Tim. Yuck. I only wanted to watch it because I kind of wanted to watch a few of the portions of it. Because he does walk off. He gets frustrated and just walks the fuck out. Let's watch Kyle Kalinske react to Tim Pool. React to a react. It wasn't me. Okay. Content detection. Let me just see. Yeah, I have nothing in my dashboard. Very weird. Oh well. Oh god. Poop man. I think I had here. We can watch this real quick.
With major breaking news regarding Donald Trump's disastrous Iran war, courtesy of exclusive bombshell reporting from the conservative Wall Street Journal and its cousin Fox News. And folks, this is very stunning stuff.
Is it Jim Post?
The Wall Street Journal is confirming that Iran has developed a secret plan to escalate and expand the war that Trump started in retaliation for Trump starting it in the first place. They want to inflict maximum economic and political pain on Donald Trump in retribution and ultimately, therefore, against the rest of us as well. And we have to talk about it. But before we do, if you end up liking this video, you want to support the channel, please give me 3 free clicks. The like, subscribe, and notification buttons. They cost you absolutely nothing. They will notify you the next time and every time I publish a video, and it urges the mysterious YouTube gods to recommend this video and this channel to other YouTube viewers. So let's dive in. Bombshell Wall Street Journal report reveals Iran's secret plan to expand war with Trump. Main war has not yet begun. The Wall Street Journal published a bombshell report detailing how, behind the scenes, Iranian hardliners dug this summer to prepare to escalate the war with the United States amid negotiations.
All right, hold on. I don't know. I saw Toby Maguire in 9/11. Synapses went off. They don't even let peeps on their users. Use their bunch of their stuff. I mean, technically they do. They let Hassan content watchers do it. Probably got a mass report by bots that got caught. Yeah. I lost a few subs on the channel too, so there must have been someone who was pissed off that I was not watching. What was it? Not watching Necessary Conversation, being like, I don't like this. I don't like this. Maybe that was it. I don't know. But yeah, it could have been bots. Could have been bots. Not too secret it is. I sent you an email via the website. When you want an opinion lady / artist / creator to talk about political video ideas, just stopping in to say that, just in case you didn't see it. Yeah, I will. Wait, hold on. Okay, I thought I got a ding here. One day I'll get Joel banned. Damn. Unsubbing because obvious MAGA sympathizer. Yeah. Oh, we got a Park Rose permaculture van? Probably. I don't even get that reference. That's going to be one that you're going to have to help me out with. Oh my god. I'm trying to pull up more content right now. I'm trying to pull up more content and it's not letting me do it. Okay, let's just try it again. Okay. Oh, it's being a fucking walking piece of shit right now. It was me. I'm the narc. Totally. I just thought it's funny. I legitimately walked over and just was pulling up my studio because you can see kind of like what's going on there. Mushroom Culture is a lefty YouTuber. Oh, we can watch that. I was looking over and I was like, oh yeah, I lost 2 subscribers, which I don't give a fuck about that. But I thought it was kind of funny. I was like, oh yeah, someone got pissed and they're like, I'm reporting him. I don't like this. He's not doing a reaction to yesterday's video, and I am fucking pissed. If it didn't go through, oh, if you did it on the form, I know how to pull that up. I can pull that up. I can pull that up. All right, it's being a bitch. I got a few lefty YouTubers that probably make good React content, but they also get shadow banned a lot. Well, we're in new territory. We're in new territory because I'm probably going to get shadow banned quite a bit as well. It was Tim Pool lovers with the bots. Like, I mean, I had someone pop into the Twitch stream going, "Are you MAGA?" I'm like, no. I thought maybe they went over to the stream and YouTube streamer like, let me just report him there. Just like we had the dude the other day who just fucking would not shut the fuck up about being tolerant of the intolerant. Man, that was such a weird fucking conversation. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? Why are you going down this rabbit fucking hole? This is fucking dumb. This is the dumbest conversation I've had in a while. If you're watching Josiah, I know I'm in decent company. Oh shit. Oh, okay, yeah, Sugar. I thought you might have been. I had someone in Twitch chat the other day. Absolutely fucking played the I just want to have a good conversation. I just want to have a conversation about this. And I was like, oh no. And then I've been just kind of like, I was prepared today to deal with a bunch of bullshit, just so you know. ML farted, that's good. I like that. You know what?
To resolve the conflict.
I know the timestamp for that, so we can pull that up. I don't care.
Oh, filling out a form there? You know, you actually have
4010, yeah. Let's pull it up. Bum that you're fed up with TNC, but I get it. I'm getting there too. I'm on the side of like, look, where are we at? Like, why are we doing this? For sure, we've been watching consistently together, year plus, and I'm more enraged with ML than I ever was with Bob. Miss that shit stacker. Me too. Me too. I'd rather watch that guy lose his fucking mind, and I can make fun of that guy and not feel bad. But Mary Lou, I'm just like, you're just mean. Like, and there's nothing funny about you. There's just nothing funny about you at fucking all.
In the after.
All right, this is the only taste of oh, okay. This is the only taste. I'm going to pull up when she pushes out. This is the only taste we're getting.
In the after.
All right, this is it. Oh my God, it went for an hour and 15 minutes.
Identities are return to a kind of, if you want to call it heaven or God or whatever, we return to a collective where the information, the experiences that we have had playing this video game get absorbed back into the greater whole, as do, in quotes, we.
Where you're not in pain anymore and you're happy and all your dogs come running to you and all your friends you've ever had.
Yeah, all of the data that is collected in each experience that, you know, we, in quotes, are experiencing, I think, is delivered to that hard drive in the sky. And now you can experience it all, including stuff that isn't just.
Was that it? Was it the little pop noises? Was that it? Or is it like an actual fart? He sounds like someone who thinks they're saying something profound, some profound shit, but is saying nothing. It is the ramblings of someone who smokes a lot of weed. Okay. All right. It is the air escaped. I think I heard it. I heard like a very tiny, like, you know. Hard drive in the sky. I can fly twice as high. I took a toke. All right. I think it was indigestion, kind of a burp. He took mushrooms and thinks he understands the universe. Yeah, it was going hard on her. I mean, look. Oh, you mean in the clip? All right. Well, I'm gonna wait. Then farted. Hell yeah. Let me know if you find it. Let me know if you find it. I quit watching PP when she kept saying she was being shadow banned, while not addressing that her content was just her shitting on people who didn't agree with 100% with her. Look, I'm someone who has experienced the quote unquote shadow ban in different realms. Back when I used to do I used to be mainly on Instagram as a artist. I used to do a lot of I would say risque art. A lot of that's gone off of my Instagram now. But you know, there should be a clause for art that shows nipples or anything like that to not be shadow banned or be censored. I mean, it's art, in my personal opinion, and I think even their policies at the time were that they do not censor art unless it is gratuitously like hardcore. But no, I used to draw a lot of I would say tasteful nudes. Nothing that would be, yeah, I drew boobies essentially. And yeah, I noticed normal post of mine, if I didn't post for a week, would be fine. Like I would have, you know, X amount of views on it, and then I would post something with breast in it, and I would get 2 views. And I'd be like, what in the fuck? And then if I go and look up the tags, because the way you could tell if you're shadow banned is if you looked up a tag. I had one for my own name. And essentially, if I clicked on it and I clicked on my name and I did not see my new post, I knew that the algorithm actually banned the photo from being in any tag. So yeah, I experienced the shadow ban thing, but on here, like, look, I know if I post something that is not TNC related, 4911. Okay, if I post anything that's not the necessary conversation related, I get basically a fraction of the views. And the reason is like, hey, they have a rabid community of people who just want that content. They don't want anything else. And if you make content that does not fall into that category, they're like, I don't want to click on a fucking video of Trump falling asleep. That's not funny. I need to watch a fucking clip of an old woman being racist. Ren gets views too. We're gonna do Ren. I need to set up a day where I have a I need to set up a day where we can go through and just do a real big like sit down and like watch along with that. I thought people were motivated by but I don't want to recommend channels that aren't totally kick-ass, such as Kyle K. I like Kyle K. I think Kyle K does lean into the talking head stuff a little too much lately, but I'm not here. Oh yeah. No, I mean, look, you can recommend anything. I'm not going to hold it against anyone. Did you get Ren permissions? I have not filled it out yet, but we're going to probably aim for next week and maybe next Monday. Because I'll have enough time to sit there and we can do 4 hours of just Ren. And then whatever else we want to do. But yeah, I think I'm going to aim for Monday next week. So yeah. And local media do not feel like people are attacking. I personally, I've never watched. I don't think I've watched them. Yeah. Being back, that permaculture lady isn't their fave. I'm heating the masses. I get you. I do that too, where I'll throw something out and people are like, no, I don't want to watch it. I'm like, okay, we don't have to do that. We're good. Let's see if we can hear Mary Lou shit herself.
That seat, whatever seat it may be, Senate, House, fucking White House, whatever, who's going to be loyal to Trump?
I think that was her throat. Like, I don't know if that was a fart. I mean, I want it to be a fart. I need a rend in the end of the world in Life is Excellent doubleheader. Okay. Play it again. All right. We will.
Senate, House, fucking White House, whatever.
I don't know. I don't know where it falls. It could be either like stomach noises. I don't know. Maybe she's hitting a high register in her throat when she's like, I don't know. It's a groan, but hilarious. It's very. Try it again. Yeah, she groaned because she was over it. Yeah, it just is a really weird fucking groan. God, I'm not the only one. I was feeling the same way. No. Is Bob calling from beyond, from her belly? She ate Bob. What happened? All right. I guess we're watching Southern Discomfort.
You have to work before you get.
You know, baby, I'm just as excited about this as you are, but don't you kind of miss
all my versions of reality of this reality? It's a fart. Did you lose a bet or no? I didn't lose a bet. We're kidding. We're not watching this. I'm joking. We're not watching TNC though. He was getting bored the whole episode. She just wants to talk about butterflies and impending Sharia law. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. My issue right now with the show is like there is not a meaningful conversation to be had on the show. And it feels like it is now turned into it's just turned into a let's fuck with Mary Lou at this point. I'm done, like, having like some sort of like meaningful conversation. Let's fucking dump on her. That was a memorable moment when her videos got strange, but I attribute. Okay, let's see if we can find. I have not watched a Monty Mater video in a bit. No, you're good. We have According to Jim at home. But yeah. I just feel like the show lately is just them being like, Like, what is the word? How do I want to say this? Conform, mom. Do as I say, not as I do, mom. All right. Be fair. It gets to the point where you realize there's no conversation to be had. It's just shit post at this point. Yeah. Bill Maher too. Oh yeah, 100%. By the way, Bill Maher, conservative. Don't care what he says about himself. Fucking conservative. All right. Okay. That motherfucker has bent the knee to Trump. He's a fucking bitch, dude. A fucking bitch. And to think, I thought Religulous was a fun documentary. Now I look at it and I'm like, oh, this dude's just a fucking douche. Just a fucking douchebag. All right, I'm pulling up Monty Mater real quick. YouTube. Yes, no, goodbye, the history of the Ouija board. Hey, that's pretty cool. I need to just fucking follow her. My dad is convinced the U.S. is engaged in a holy war with Muslims, and the brown people are in fact mad about some vague religious reason, and not that their homes have been regularly leveled by the U.S. Yeah. Yeah. The dogs are screaming downstairs. Suzanne, I think, went to go swim. I'm a conservative liberal with psycho tendencies. Much to talk about when it comes to the variety of creators and their value to the cause, whatever the cause is besides what the fuck. I might have to go get the dogs here. You can probably hear them. Also, Bill Maher is a shit lib that wants to see brown people exterminate. Yes. All right, hold on. I'm gonna pull up the. I'm trying to see. Oh, they kind of stopped. Never mind. Let them yap. I know. They're old. I love them. Heard him, but now nothing. Oh, there's the dogs. I'm trying to see what has she got that is politically oriented right now. Oh, yesterday's news. Here, we'll do that.
Todd Blanche says he will not run the DOJ.
Here we go. I will pull that up. I think that sounds like a treat. Better than Southern discomfort.
Todd Blanche says he will not run the DOJ, independent of Trump. Increased conflict in Iran causing strain with our Gulf partners and a very tragic death. Welcome to yesterday's news. I'm Monty Mater. The goal of these videos is to give you the updates on the news, help weed through some of the noise, hopefully in about 15 to 20 minutes. I've been running a little long lately, so I'm really going to try to keep it to that 20 to 25 minute window and hopefully give you some of you.
I was just dumb enough to believe some of the shit that people say. Me too. I have this bone in my body that's like, I need to question. I heard some God and country when hearing people in public talk about what's wrong with the woke epidemic. Oh my God. Do the conservatives not realize they are woke 2.0 at this point? Glittery bubbles. I like Monty Mater as well. I do too. Just like I used to like Luke Beasley, Keith Edwards, Midas, and so many others until they let the money and shit posting take control. Sadly, that's my big issue right now. Is like Keith Edwards, I cannot watch anymore. I think he has gone down this rabbit hole of it just feels like shit posting at this point. He posts nothing but just kind of like funny quote unquote jabs at Trump and everything like that, which I'm not like. I'm all for jabbing Trump, but there's like no political I guess momentum, no forward movement, any sort of conversation, no actual news being told. on his channel. And Midas, I have issues with Midas. I feel like they're very long winded. They're this style of editorial that I don't care for, and typically the headlines that they're waxing poetically about are things that can be told to you in 2 sentences, and you can move on with your fucking life. And then what was the other one? Luke Beasley. I think he thinks this is all kind of fun and games at this point. My other person who I we talked about before, I do not like Adam Mockler at all. I think he is part of the problem. The hyperbole makes me never even click on it. Bombshell every few posts. Yeah. Pondering Politics has kind of turned into that. I pulled up one of their videos today because I was like, what is breaking news? And it's like, oh, it's another thing that Trump said today. And I'm like, okay, but has he done the thing that we are panicking about? And the question I have is, if not, who is stopping him from making statements like that? Those are the things I'm more worried about. I'm not worried about Trump saying he's going to bomb something, because he's going to do something, right? He is going to say these things because it incites panic amongst quote unquote people on the left. And the thing is, the people we should be really fucking mad at, like I said earlier, is our Congress people. Because first of all, they're letting him just do whatever the fuck he wants while we're dealing with an illegal war. None of them are stopping him at all. I love Jennifer Welch. I like when she's on with Don Lemon also. Don Lemon I have an issue with, but I think look, Don Lemon is someone who I think is trying to be sensationalist after leaving CNN. He's like trying to farm clicks. I don't know if he's really in it. Keith Edwards is artificial intelligence. I agree with that. As soon as Luke realized he's very freaking funny, he tiptoed his show. He turned his show into Rogan style joke fest. Which, to be honest with you, Luke needs to chill the fuck out on that. He's not that funny. Keith and Nate did a collab the other day. Oh, really? I don't like the clickbait headlines, and the whole 20-minute video only gets to the headlines in the last 30 seconds. It's a nothing burger. Yeah, I typically skip over until I see the headlines on any of those, just so I can read the headline myself and then click off of it. Eridus, I completely agree with you. I think that Congress is also at fault, and I think a lot of the left is also at fault with that as well. Greg Mockler replied to me 2 days ago after calling him a talking head and using sensationalism. Don is a phony. What did he say to you, Driftless? I want to know. Adam was very good at first, then not, then very, very good, and now I don't get it. Maybe he got too much respect from too many adults, so now he thinks he's smarter and or better. Not sure what he's doing. My issue with him is the obvious pandering to the moderate Democrat, the absolute nut licking of Newsom, and the wanting to absolutely fucking eat the far progressive left's face off completely. He is a fucking weirdo. It doesn't make sense to me. Adam Mockler can memorize important talking points and think quickly, but he has become sort of a debate bro about all of it. Yeah, no, because he is. That's all he is. That's the only thing he lives for, and that's what he gets his attention for. Is like, yeah. I also got called a one-issue voter when I said I wouldn't vote for the DNC for their complicity in the Gaza genocide. Sorry, genocide is a deal breaker. I'll vote when there's a politician that has policies I like, which is going to be never under bourgeoisie democracy. I'm always of the opinion that voting matters, and voting, look, there is a aspect of voting that is important, even if you're voting for not the best candidate. I personally do not. I used to be very hardcore about not voting for someone I did not fully back. We are unfortunately in a space where one is worse than the other, and a lot of people did not vote in the Trump election. And I think that kind of also kind of fed into Trump winning a little bit. Now, do I fault anyone for not voting? No. I think that is a choice, you know? You always got to vote for the giant douche over the turd sandwich. Yeah. Yeah. But I'll say this, like, I'm never going to sit there and be like, I'm going to yell at someone for not voting. I will always just be like, I'm going to look at it rationally from the place of like, if more people voted, yeah. But what we're in now is going to happen one way or another. Do you think? Well, I guess I mean I'm going to fall down the trope, the rabbit hole of being like, well, would you rather have Kamala or would you rather have Trump? And that's what it all kind of just boils down to me. You know, like for me, it boils down to that. Like, would you rather have one or the other? And if you're like, I don't want either, you know, it is a question of like, okay, then you don't need to vote. Yeah, you know. Like, had to do with Rob Sand. He stated that he liked Rob. When I called him out for saying that Trump is the reason Rob Sand is doing well, Rob is loved across the spectrum. Mockler doesn't know Iowa. Yeah. The Hype Ladies hold a hopeful spot in my heart. They are old and wise enough to change with the times, or do I just stand by them because they're my peer, just smart, appreciate their intelligence. I like Jennifer quite a bit, Jennifer Welch. I do think because they are in the, you know, the talking head, like sort of like news cycle, they do have to talk about like the sensationalist sort of topics, which is like, did you see what Trump said last night? He spent the last, 8 hours of the night tweeting 120 times. You know, Taco Tits is is tweeting again. But that's the thing, I don't fault anyone for doing that necessarily. I do fault the people who lean hardcore into that. John Stewart, Mehdi Hassan, Fareed Sakira, Anderson Cooper are kind of my trusted sources. Anderson Cooper, really? I mean, I don't have anything against Anderson Cooper. I just I think about Anderson Cooper and I just think of just CNN, right? He's CNN, right? Yeah, CNN shill kind of guy, but I don't think he's a shill for CNN. That's something liberals don't understand or refuse to accept. I like the Hype Ladies also. I rarely click on any of them anymore. Aaron Parnas is good. I watch him on IG. Aaron Parnas is okay. I do catch some of the stuff. He is very straightforward, which I do like, so I have no issues with. He's obviously using Rob as clickbait mixed with Trump. It was all for views and clicks. Yeah, because that's all he does. Read the iHip Ladies book also. I'll have to check that out. Or you read it. I'll have to see if I can get like a audiobook. That's the only way I can really sit down and read those things, is if I can listen to it. Pump glasses. Pumps glasses. People are involved enough in their local and state politics. This is that's why our national politics is where it is. Yeah. Aren't involved. Yeah. If it was only in my interest, I'd vote for Kamala, but that vote would still be dubious. But my interests are what is better for the entire world, and the entire world is always going to suffer for the sake of the imperial core. Yeah, I look, and I don't know how old you are, Eridus. I had a very, very visceral reaction after 9/11 and the repeat voting of Bush in office, and I felt like my vote doesn't fucking matter. This is all fucking con, and I was very much in that fucking mindset too. Vanderbilt, that's it. Vanderbilt. Yeah. He's a Vanderbilt. That was what it was. I was like trying to figure out. I was like, who is the mother? I believe it was Gloria Vanderbilt. I can't remember what her first name is. But yeah, I know how you feel. And I can especially understand if you're younger. I'm in my 40s, so I kind of look at this in the totality of like, okay, what do I have control over in the short term? I have control over my vote for the particular president that is coming in. I think now you're 22. Yeah. So I get it, man. I was there with you. I'm there with you, when it comes to this stuff. I get it. I look at it now, I'm older, and my thing is like, look, I have to vote for what I think is the lesser two evils in the short term. But what I think about now is like with the DSA kind of coming in and doing what it is, even though I know some people are calling it a right wing fucking like an arm of the right wing right now, but that's bullshit. I'm seeing what's happening with that, and I can see people are absolutely going like, we need to fucking do something different. We need to do something fucking different. And I'm starting to get fucking like excited about that. Marilee was in a full blown idiot mode yesterday. I don't know why I can't stop watching. Hey, you know the biggest thing I can tell you if you're having trouble deciding if you want to keep watching or not, take a week or two off. And if you're like, I feel better, you don't need to watch it. You don't have to. I know enough. I don't watch Cooper versus Opinions. I watch him because he's a solid journalist, which I think is valid. I know enough to come to my opinions, which I agree with you. Rivens, you're very, very, very smart. Remember Rock the Vote that taught all of us Gen Xers that voting was important because school certainly didn't tell us and parents didn't talk about it. So that was highly successful ad campaign. And, you know, a lot of people kind of picked up that mantle during, I think, the last couple of elections, especially after Trump got elected. I think it's been impressed upon the youth to vote, you know? Oh, if anything, Trump was better in this regard because he's breaking up America's soft power. Yeah, but he's consolidating power, you know, which I think is also, I think, scarier in a way. I don't know. I think there's a positive thing when I look at the Trump administration and what it's kind of like doing, which is, I think, radicalizing a lot of youths, especially people who cannot pay for things, who are working 2 or 3 jobs. Like, it is making people fucking like angry. Emerson was on Channel 1 when I was in high school. News they made us watch at the beginning of the day, which I wish they would do that more with kids. I went to Biltmore Estate as a teen. Ooh. Is that yuppie-ish? I mean, it sounds like it would be yuppie-ish. I'm in Texas, so I went to public schools my entire life. Then all the pop stars and hair bands told us goth, skater, hippie chick rebels that it's cool to vote. Yeah. At the end of the day, consensus is power. I'm not that smart. I know many people smarter than I. What's the Utes? The storm that broke levees in New Orleans / Katrina, that's what put Anderson on the map. It did. I remember that. Handsome guy getting windswept out there. We were all like, oh, okay, I'll take this person's action in my news. The reason the DSA has a legitimacy now is because my generation is finally seeing where liberalism ends and where fascism begins, seeing how paper thin the boundary is, among other reasons. Yeah. I think, you know, we are in a weird place with these governments. I think, you know, fascism is rearing its head. And I think it is mainly because of late stage capitalism. I think late stage capitalism ushered in this sort of control. You know, I blame the Nixons, I blame the Reagans, I blame these guys for sitting up the pens for people like Trump to knock them down. And it was a slow moving coup, as I said earlier. You know, it was a very, very slow moving coup. And then Trump just ramped it up. In my mind, I want to ride this out as long as possible to keep radicalized people further and further. Oh, keep people radicalized. Okay, I got you. Yeah. I don't know if I want to write it out per se. I feel like the dam's already broken at this point. I think we're past the whole situation. You know, they were talking about that on the Tim Pool episode you had pulled up. Tim can't describe what a fascist is. The other guy said, "Well, the 14 tenets." Tim had no clue. I saw that clip, and Tim was all like, "No, I don't want to talk about that." And it was like, "No, you're going to." Then to watch Brian Tyler Cohen, Aaron Parnas, and Heather Cox Richardson for more breaking news because they actually talk to experts in the field. Democracy Forward and Glenn Kirshner as well. I don't know. I'm thinking in the big game. Yeah. He is amazing, Glenn Kirshner. The only one I do not watch, and I just particularly don't care for, just I don't care for what I perceive as, I don't want to say weaponized ignorance, because I think that's a little too harsh, but there's obviously a lot of money changing hands in the Liberal Party, and I believe Brian Tyler Cohen is one of the few that when I watch him, he seems like a really good guy, right? Really good guy. Very interesting guy as well. But I have a sneaking suspicion that he might be on someone's payroll. I don't know whose. I don't know whose. I used to watch him back in the day. My issue with Brian, though, when I was watching back in the day, was he could be very, very not dry. I don't know how I would describe it. It was I felt like I was not nearly as engaged with Brian Tyler Cohen. The person who I really don't like, who falls into the leftist talking heads, is, oh my god, what is his fucking face? The AI pack guy. What is his fucking name? I always forget it. Hung out with Glenn all afternoon. Couldn't get enough of him. He's all jacked and strong, smart and kind. Real man, that one. My fear right now is that the DNC will get re-elected and try to do damage control to get legitimacy back. But at the same time, the damage might be done. Oh, he smokes weed too. Yeah, I think the damage for the DNC, especially the old guard, is done. The problem right now, and I think for a lot of people, is we've seen the same fucking, I don't know, half of the fucking Congress in Congress for the last like 50 fucking years. And I think people are done. Like everyone's over it. Because it's like, look, these guys are obviously fucking compromised in some way. It's BTC that's paying them now. Where is he getting it? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I read something. I don't know exactly what the deal was, but there was some quote unquote dark money going into the pockets of a bunch of talking heads, and BTC was named as one. I don't know the legitimacy of that article. But God, who is the other guy? It's gonna bother me now. I think it's a boomer death cult. Just max greed by any means, and the easiest path is what we have been seeing. Less care than usual for the future because they're old. They're too old to have one. Yeah, I think they're ready to just fucking be like, hey, I go out in the next like fucking 10 to 20 years. I'm gonna keep consuming and I'm gonna keep destroying. Oh, it's Pac-Man. That's the one I'm thinking about. Pac-Man is the one that I legitimately, every time I hear him, I'm like, you are so full of fucking shit, bro. Then he sucked and I was suspicious. His chorus project, that was what it was. But lately, Brian has been on track again. He did something really good. I watched him in a debate and I was like, okay, all right. He seems like he's trying to fucking fix shit. He set up the coalition? Yeah. Okay. I'm talking about chorus. Yeah. But it landed me where I am now. Yeah. I wasn't radicalized by Trump. It was Palestine that pushed me over the edge, but Trump only accelerated that. Maybe perhaps too quickly and too overtly, but it landed me where I am now. I was fairly radicalized for quite a while in terms of like just looking at the state of the world. I worked in a field that exposed a giant glaring issue, and it was that there were people taking advantage of people by paying them the base amount of money possible and to do the worst work possible, the stuff that no one wants to do, and then nickel and dime them for like healthcare and things like that, when the reality is we should be taking care of those people. We should be doing what we can to help those people out. And I immediately started to see it. It was just like these conversations behind the scene of like, well, can we fight back on paying minimum wage and shit like that, or is there any way around that? How do we cut costs. Like, can we change what type of stuff we're using so we can just cut as much cost so we can reap as much profit as possible? And it was so dystopian, and like you would see people who would steal, right, in the company because they had no other like recourse. They weren't going to make like be able to buy groceries and shit like that. And it's like the question is, if people who are working for us cannot buy groceries and they're resulting, the result is they're stealing from the company. Maybe we need to reevaluate what is happening in their lives and how we treat people. But they don't do that. They look at it as people as just scum. Chorus was or is bad. I thought at face value it seemed really great, then found out they had tape over their mouths and NDAs. So the biggest thing was the NDAs and the silencing of certain topics, which I believe revolved around Israel and Gaza, and just Israeli politics in general. Well, I was donated Chorus to get it off the ground, and a ton of creators came together to help build that out. I mean, I'm 50 and I'm ready to check the fuck out. I'm not raging consumer. I just want to be able to grow vegetables, keep chickens, and not be thrown into a dumpster just because I'm old. I just want to have the ability to have universal healthcare and not feel like, I'm constantly treading water. That's my biggest thing. I low-key got radicalized before Palestine. Now that I think about it, I think it was my alt-right phase. I saw toothpaste and toothbrushes being locked up in stores, and I think that put a super soldier stasis sleeper agent in me. And I grew up in poverty before then. Yeah, I grew up around nothing. I think that's why I have kind of the consumerist mindset that I have. It's like I had nothing, and like I always wanted things. I always wanted to, have what my friends had, and and I would get certain things here and there, and then they would just disappear, and you're just like, what the fuck? It just didn't feel stable in any way. Education, health, housing, energy, food should not be profit oriented, but it seems impossible for some of that to happen. I agree with you. I think there should be more regulations on that stuff to prevent that from happening. But I'm not running the government. Mostly because of housing insecurity. I mean, you're 22, so that makes total sense. You don't know if you're going to have a job, in the next week or two. Like, you could be out of a job because the company decides, hey, we're going to lay people off. You're the quote unquote low man on the totem pole type situation, and housing insecurity is a huge thing. Like, there's no stability, no security in anything. Initially, they were overwhelmed with offers of help. Those of us that followed ended up hearing back. Okay. "54 on the 30th. Too old and too young. I'm stuck. Or I'm free to do whatever, whenever. Who knows? Crazy age to be right now. I'm 41, and I feel kind of like that right now. I just feel... I feel honestly like I'm like in this middle of the road thing. I'm a male, so my life expectancy is not great. It's 70 to 80 something maybe. So yeah, there's no job security anymore. Not even high middle management. Nope. And companies are incentivized not to care about people either. Texas is a right to work state, and if they feel like they can fire you, they're going to fire you, and they're going to come up with a reason to not pay you, unemployment. It's fucked. I knew a bunch of Gen X kids who grew up on communes of the 60s and 70s. It's possible the off the grid concept memed among social groups is just another divide. The problem with I think the issue with communes is that the communes were also hiding some of the communes, not all of them. I'm not lumping them all together, but like for instance, Children of God, which was a commune / religious cult, was hiding a lot of abuse, and that's I think where they got the bad reputation, you know? I think it's where a lot of that came from. Just like how Charles Manson ended the hippie movement, you know? Okay, so I've been moving around a lot over the past few years because of personal reasons. I'm in Florida right now. Oh, I'm from New York. I have 4+ years in kitchen work and applied 30+ times and was only able to land one job. Yeah, so many people are applying for a lot of jobs too, but I let go of it because I'm moving again. Jesus, man, I'm sorry. I followed up. Maybe they just missed me. There were other opportunities. What did you hear? The campaign manager. Hey, considering life expectancies, we are the same age. Yeah. I have 4+ years. Oh, yeah. Hold on. We read that. That's when we all go downhill, when they lay off all those people, and they're planning on it when they get those data centers up. Yeah. I'm actually kind of like hopeful that the data center situation might not pan out the way it did. Because the AI bubble is most likely going to burst in the near future. I'm talking very near future. It already has burst. Look at the Korean markets, for instance. They fucking went. They imploded. How do Amish survive? My knowledge is limited to Kingpin. I think Kingpin is fine. They live just fine. Communes are just as iffy as HOAs. The new place should be much better. I'm glad, by the way. I'm glad that is going to be better for you. George Bush visited Hallmark on February 2nd, 2008. He spoke about how stable and healthy Hallmark was. On February 6th, my whole department was outsourced to China. On February 8th, I was unemployed. No fault of my own. I've never recovered professionally or financially. Yeah, I'll just be transparent. I left right at the height of COVID as a fairly decently paid executive, and it was hard to leave that, but I was also, not to mince words, I was also not emotionally stable, and I was falling apart, suicidal, that type of thing. So it was imperative that I left. If I didn't, I probably would not be on stream right now. Not to be dramatic or anything. Over 300 apps so far. Just a reply, but if I wanted to move forward, I would contact them again. Over 300 apps so far, only a handful of interviews that went nowhere. There's just so many people applying for jobs. I was actually kind of looking at something just recently, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't do it. Dems want to lower retirement age to 55, increase retirement money, help small business healthcare without having it attached to jobs. We have to get back. Have to. Yeah, I mean, look, the problem with the Democratic Party is like we need to remove the people who are I would say bumps in the road right now. Chuck Schumer is a problem. Cory Booker's a problem. Like there's a bunch of people who are problems for the Democratic Party right now. And I think it's going to take the DSA and the progressive left to make that happen. Sioux Falls and Canton. 20% of communes are insane. Sioux Falls and Canton have data center meetings for the South Dakota folks. I retired 2 years ago after 21 years with the company. It was clear that changes for the worse were coming. Canton needs a hero. We call him Jane, the hero of Canton. Communes always have a creepy vibe when you drive past, though. Awesome idea, but damn if I don't believe wholeheartedly that it smells bad in there. Yeah. Probably. I love to host a late night call and just, hey, yeah, Liz, I think we've talked about that in the past. Just talking things, but I'm not tech savvy enough and would love to avoid the porn bombs that come with streaming via certain comm platforms. Welcome in, Reese. I have been to some nice communes. I've never been to a commune. Yeah, my dad is convinced I'm not trying hard enough to find a job while he watches Fox News all day and gets disability checks. If Dems lower the retirement age to 55 and increase retirement benefits, then I'm in France tomorrow. MP, you must. Canton, what? Ohio? You have a Canton in Connecticut. But you couldn't mean that. It's all wood. It generally takes all of my self-control to not start tweaking. I learned this as a person who is a conservative parent. I don't take anything they say with any grain of salt, because it's typically something that is going to be a critique on you as a human being, as a person, and not a empathetic look at your life. So, how do you deal with people who are not empathetic? You just kind of take them at face value and you don't let it affect you. You can't let it. Many repercussions of pandemic have yet to be revealed. Oh, it is going to get worse in the near future, I would say. We're going to find out a bunch of shit soon. Firefly reference, Big Damn Heroes. Oh, by the way, Hayden Panettiere passed away last night. I read somewhere that the ambulance call was for cardiac arrest, and so it's either what her brother passed away of, which was an enlarged heart, or an OD is what people were saying. She OD'd. Yeah, I heard either or. No, you must work yourself to death for the ultimate glory of national corporation interests. Retirement in France is the plan. The only thing stopping us is the current retirement age. Yeah. We have, in fact, talked about it. Have you found me any solutions that won't leave me smashing my head? The reality is, like, you could go down a rabbit hole of doing a phone number that people dial into. The problem is you would have to be ready to go to, like, nuke someone. And the other option would be Discord. That would be the other option. You would have to have a mod team on deck to kick someone the moment shit goes awry. Like, someone would have to be listening in, and if someone says something, nuke them. They live their whole life succeeding with little to no effort. They can't imagine it changed like it has. Yeah, they can't imagine. No, they can't. Jeffrey's got to go. Yeah, Jeffrey's has got to go. France has a minimum monthly income requirement of $1,500 a month for individuals. I think it's $2,300 for a couple, which is not bad, actually. 59.5, yeah. Knowing many kids from the farm commune near Nashville. This is a book that tells a lot about communes. We are as gods back to the lands in the 1970s on the quest for a new America. We're planning to start drawing Social Security at 62. Jeffries and Schumer are great at admin stuff. They suck at communicating to people and don't have the charisma needed right now. The big issue is that because they're taking money from AIPAC, they're my biggest ops right now. Like, I really do not like. I don't like them because of the amount of money they take and amount of support they push towards Israel. And as someone who's Jewish themselves, or who was raised Jewish, I don't consider myself Jewish. It is weird to have that, like, it's something I've been dealing with one of my parents, who has been telling my sister, like, we need to back Israel and everything they do. And I'm like, no, we don't. There are people we need to support. I'm like, no, we don't. We don't have to do that shit. So I look at Chuck Schumer and even Booker and Jeffries as just like, they're bought and paid. They changed that word golden. Yeah, I mean that's going to take a few years. And even then, like, if we get back the House, or if we get back both the House and the Senate, I don't know if they can push that through. Guys, please, we need to go back. Wait, to the people that kneecap children. Yeah. Our mental services are so bad here. I have to recommend that my daughter just stay over there in France. Shouldn't come here when you need that much help. Yeah. Got my TV, but I might get quiet for a bit. No, you're fine. Can we just take all the money from AIPAC and put that towards getting healthcare affordable? Hey, yeah. Yeah. What's his face was on Fox News the other day. Oh my God, that's such a good interview, by the way. And he's all like, I just want all the money that we've been giving to Israel. We could literally pay for fucking schooling and healthcare. Money. They're showing their ass, not for/against anything that matters, token of opposition to a cartoon villain party that they do nothing to combat. I think those are the words I was looking for right there. Take all the AIPAC's money, every last penny. Yeah. Husband is 53 in December, so the Dems have 2 years to get that shit done. Okay. We'll see. I'm not. No, Cribs, no. All the money that from the military that they've been stealing. Remember, 60% of that is unaccounted for. You're talking about the money going to Trump's kids, right? That's just shit. I think the money going directly to Israel and the money that Trump's kids have been fucking siphoning through government contracts. But that should all be going back to us. Do we have to pick one? Nope, it's impossibility. I know this because Bob Bloodthrone Holden, honest working class Republican, told me so. See, all the above. I think it's all the above. I don't know. I look. I wish I was. Y'all can look for me in Normandy or Brittany. So look. I wish I was able to pass policies because I'd go ham. I would make some people mad. I'd probably be assassinated. I would be murdered. I'd be murdered. It's been unaccounted for a lot longer before Trump's kids. Well, true. The United States gives Israel a baseline of $3.8 billion a year in foreign military aid under a 10-year commitment spanning 2019 to 2028. However, emergency supplemental funding packages, yeah, they've been handing them money. Like it is so much fucking money that it should be illegal at this point. Okay, we can take all of our money back, but I want the Fraud Watch group funded again, and the food programs and AIDS shots overseas. Yeah, I want all that stuff. I need all of that. I think that can all be done. My thing on the donations is every politician needs to clarify that a donation is not an endorsement and that it wouldn't even come into consideration of anything. See, the thing is, Liz, I wish I could trust people enough to do that. The problem is that with the way lobbyists work nowadays, it is all done behind the scenes. It is public. We know about the donations, but these agreements happen. Yeah. Problems we can't trust. Yeah, okay. Cribbins is with me on this one. That's the thing. Like, I want to trust people, but I'm at a point where with the glazing, the fucking slobbing of the goddamn Israel knob, they are fucking, they're doing everything they can. I mean, look at Fetterman, for instance. Fetterman is unabashedly fucking bought and sold at this point. I would love to be the president. I've been posting vote me for 20 years on Facebook page every election cycle. I love my policies. Also, I never said it before, but cool guitar. Bro Fetterman is a golem. He is a fucking goblin. I have a couple of I have a nicer guitar over there, but I don't like playing it. I like my fucking cheap Epiphone 335. And my cheap acoustic guitar that a friend came over and played it, and they're like, "Why do you have these strings on this guitar?" And I'm like, "Because I'm developing arthritis, and I cannot fret guitars down the way I used to. So putting heavier strings on my acoustic is not. He's like, I hate strings like this. I'm like, it's for me to play. I need to sell a lot of my guitar stuff. Unfortunately, I got a huge debt to pay to my college before spring. Look, I've been there too, where you have to like, oh shit. I've cycled through collections before. I'm about to start doing that too here soon, but this is more of a, hey, I need to get this shit out of here because I'm not using it. That's what I do. I would say out loud to the press that I'm taking this money and don't owe that person or group anything for it. It's a donation, not a payoff. I tell them on the record. I said it before. I said that if I ever ran for anything and AIPAC gave me fucking money, I'd be like, hey, thanks AIPAC. Guess what? I'm donating all this fucking money you gave me to the Gazans. Sorry. All the Palestinians you fucking are murdering, I'm going to help them out with this. I'm fucking doing my due diligence to do what's right. I'm going to take that fucking blood money and give it right back to the people who need it. Let's really make sure it's all out in the open now. Now that we've seen the games, they've shown us the loopholes. It's time to close them all. Oh, I think closing the loopholes is like this. There's no fucking no one is able to donate, be it a billionaire, a millionaire, a PAC of any sort. No one should be able to fund a campaign. I don't think that should happen. Now, local donations here and there, and it has to be like $40 tops. That's it. That's it. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. And if you make more than, I would say, oh God, I've gone back and forth on this one. I'm gonna say $150,000 a year. You cannot donate. You have the ability to not be able to donate to anything political at all. You are going to be locally supported, and if we find out you're taking foreign money, that automatically removes you from your position and from the race if you're still in the race. You take money from anyone, it's a bribe. You're done. If you're not going to arrest these motherfuckers, you're just fucking done at this point. Dems better be ready because we saw Trump do shit. So now we will be making Dems do shit. No excuses. Here's the thing. I'm for going in and fucking shit up, right? And I mean fucking shit up in the, let's reverse the shit that happened in the last like 8 years. I would say 12 years actually. And remove anyone who is a fucking, who's being bought and sold by a foreign entity altogether. All right. I got like $3,000 worth of shit I bought when I was actually in a more stable position to work and shit. Hopefully I'll get that money back. Yeah. Look, I'll say this is someone who's lived a little bit of a life. Money comes and goes, you know? And the reality is this, like, money does not make everyone happy. It can ease pain. I'll be very honest with you. It can make your life comfortable, but it doesn't fix everything. So all you can do is really go day by day and try to live your life the best you can. Dim's, hold on. Perfect. I love it, Joel. You'd give it the money right back. Nice. Yeah, 100%. Citizens United and Patriot Act. Yeah, Patriot Act. This may not be a popular thing to say, but I disagree with the left position on what the middle class is. I think it's 3 to 500 million, not 1 million. I don't even think that should be considered middle class. I'm gonna wait. Are we talking about money? But I would say the middle class in the United States, at least at this point, is, I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, if you are making above, like, a household is making above 75,000, you might be in the, like, even then, I'm like, I don't know. It's all a bunch of cool guitar shit I liked at the moment, but now it just takes up too much space, and it's unnecessary at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna be letting go of collectibles. I got a bunch of shit that I need to get rid of. You mean dollars? I was like looking, I was like, always thought middle class people were rich as hell. How you got a 2-story house? That's nice. Middle class equals swimming pool. Not that doughboy shit neither. I just drove past this sign for quality erections, and I'm hoping it's a construction company. I hope so too. Maybe a boat. To me, middle class is you're living comfortably and not living paycheck to paycheck. And I feel like that is above $100,000 a year. 200 to 500K. You know what? That's better, honestly. Like that makes more sense for middle class. Damn right, Luke. Even an in-ground pool was middle class. Oh God, man. I grew up around pools my entire life, and we had family members who would put those in no matter the financial debt they would put themselves into. They're just like, yeah, I love my pool. I'm like, oh, Jesus. I'd go in my middle-class family member's house when I was younger, and I genuinely couldn't fathom having a house that nice. Like, that shit was a mansion to me. I don't know if I ever told the story, but I as a kid, I grew up in a trailer. Like that used to be something that was a pain point for me. Because, you know, you would hear the word trailer trash being thrown around like, oh yeah, if you grew up in a trailer, you're fucking trailer trash. I don't look at it the same way anymore. But we had a moment where things got better in our lives, right? You know, my parents divorced, they all got remarried, and we moved into a really nice home, and for a couple of years we were kind of living a decent life, and then out of nowhere we were not, and we ended up moving into a 2-bedroom apartment with 7 people, and you know, this yo-yoing of like things are getting better, things are getting worse, things are getting better was literally my entire life growing up. I had no stability whatsoever, and it was rough. It was rough. And to have another parent be like, you know, if you were to ask for anything, they'd be like, I already give your the other parent child support, so don't ask me for anything. When we're living in squalor, it was just like it was fucked. It was like really fucked growing up. And this other individual was making a shit ton of money. It was so awful. It was fucked. Crivens, you got to turn around and get a picture for a post. Yeah, please put it in the Discord server. Elizabeth Warren insists on taxing 3 million or over. I think it needs to be higher. I think taxing over 1 million is perfectly acceptable. We just need to fix the whole fact that we're dealing with inflation. Yeah, we would get our money back. I'd rather have stability in a trailer than yo-yoing between apartments and middle class, not gonna lie. Me too. Paycheck to paycheck was still happening when we made $500,000. It's not rich. Not at all. No, it's not. It's not. What about the billionaire children? Liquidity, how do they afford to own and operate their diamond mines? Fucking silly goose. Silly bastard. We didn't even watch Monty Mater, by the way. We just went down a rabbit hole. This is what the stream is now. I don't like. I think this is why I was like, I don't think I feel like I need to watch Necessary Conversation on stream. We could go down a rabbit hole. I don't fucking care. You know. We don't even need to watch Tim Pool fucking on whatever the fucking thing is. Jubilee. Fucking dumb. I grew up in military housing. Most of my family lived in small 2-bedroom homes. I currently live in a small 3-bedroom side split ranch on a standard city lot. I might do at some point in the near future, I might do a stream where I do a like hangout cook stream, just for like an hour or two one night, and can take you guys around the house and kind of show you what our kind of house looks like. We have kind of like so our house is a 1.5 story home, and like this upstairs area is kind of like a loft area. But yeah, I mean, this house it was nice. We got lucky back in 2010 and bought a house in Austin, and we sold at the height of the market, and we made a little bit of money on the house. It was really nice. I get the Warren's point on 3 million plus because she takes into account housing. Well, that's different. If it was 3 million plus with housing, that makes sense. If it's 3 million and we're just focusing on like the fact that like all the assets are paid off and all that shit, and they're like they have a shit ton of assets and they're probably making more than 3 million, then yeah, they need to be taxed to hell and back. I personally think that there should be a 99% tax at a certain point on, I think, over, oh my God, don't crucify me, but like 10 million to $50 million. In my opinion, there should be no such thing as a billionaire. There shouldn't be. Three of my sisters shared a tiny ass bedroom at one point. I shared a room with my two siblings at one point in time in that tiny apartment. I have 5 siblings, by the way, at the time, and 2 of them were tiny enough that I did not. It's based on gross, not net, if I remember correctly. Ooh. Our household income is over 100K. Ours is too, technically. I don't really contribute much. My wife is a saint, and if she were to be like, "Get the fuck out of here," I'd be like, "Yep, I get it. I completely understand." Like I was in the same bedroom years and years after seeing them in it, and now I know it was unfathomably small. Yeah. Granted, I was a Lego eating dipshit at big 5 years old. I mean, we all were. In 2015, our current income would have been considered upper middle class. It barely is lower middle class today. Yeah. Which is crazy to think, We have no debt outside of our home. That's it. That's pretty much it. Aaron, it was okay, hold on. Because we paid off our debt, didn't take vacations or trips anywhere, didn't go to concerts or shows, and basically grew 6% of our food, we can save $1,200 a month. That's great. Parents were young in their 20s, and he worked as a mechanic. She didn't work. Totally able to buy a 2-story house for 6 people at least, no problem. Yeah, that was a common thing in the 80s and even mid 90s. A HUD used to be a good way to buy, but I don't know about current. It's rough right now. We picked up this house in 2024, and you basically we had to bend over and just be like, "Here we go." I mean, it's better than renting, but $30K in credit card debt. Yeah, we don't like we've got very, very, very little debt in terms of just things in general. So yeah. And 16, 11-year-old cars are paid off. Yeah, my car is fucking ancient. I've been debating about getting a new car, and it's crazy. Like I said, we grew up not just thinking, but believing fully that we would do better than our parents and never worse. So weird. We got. We did. We did got. The thing is, one of my parents will sit there and look at me in the face and be like, "You got to do everything you can for the almighty dollar, and sell out your morals. That you're going to have to just do that. Work yourself into the ground. Forget your problems. Don't even think about them. They're not real." It's like, okay, man. From before Trump, when I would spend money. Okay. I mean, if it doesn't sell, it's all it's all in the trash. The only thing we're taking is our bedroom set and our dining room table and chairs and a few pieces of art. Yeah, because I worked or not worked, I was in the art realm I've got a lot of art. Over there where there's the two they're comic book things. Behind that's a flat file with a shit ton of art that I had been kind of like collecting over the years because I was just going to conventions, selling at conventions and shows and things like that. And it was, you know, like I'm really happy with picking up a bunch of art and shit. But I don't. If we were to decide to move like out of the country, I would have to like sell it as just a massive lot to someone, and it's a lot of stuff that is more sentimental to me than it is to anyone else. And so, yeah. Now there's now granted there's a few like pieces of art in there that are like nice and might be worth some money. I know one is worth some money, but I don't know if I could sell it. It's like one of the first pieces of like art that I ever bought for myself, and it was a Big Trouble in Little Chinatown poster from Button-Amathon in 2009. I think it was the first piece of like just anything I bought for myself, and it turned out to be one of the pieces that is like one of the more sought after Mondo posters. Shockingly enough, the older generation is filled with so much spite. Like the generation that went to World War II saw literal hell and had every reason to want an easier life for future generations. But their eldest generation spits in everybody's face. I think it has a lot to do with those people coming back from World War II, looking at everything and being like, "Hey, I want to do it right." And then I think there is a aspect of lead poisoning that caused a bunch of people to be absolutely just have lack empathy. All paid up here, no debt, except mortgage, not bad. Yeah, same here. We're kind of in the same boat. That's the only saving grace we really have. Do anything you can for the almighty dollar, he says, as I rode past another quality erections billboard. The sociopath element. Like fucking 115 from zombies. But I mean, it's the truth though. Like there is a aspect of like a lack of empathy in just general when it comes to that generation. There's this idea that you just need to get the fuck over it, grow a pair, and just do what I did. And it's all like, well, you did what you did in the 70s, 80s, and 90s when you literally had free reign to do whatever the fuck you want. The dollar was like not as inflated as, the dollar is insanely inflated. We're dealing with the internet being a thing. We now have these productivity models that we apply to people, you know? It's one of those things where your idea of work hard is not the same. Like you cannot hold the same standard to the people today because you're asking 10 times what you were asked for. You were able to leave your job. You could disappear once you were off the clock. You could the fucking peer. You did not have to have you didn't have a cell phone on you at all times. You didn't have email. You didn't have the fucking literal fucking bat signal on your back being like, well, I know where Charles is at. He's over getting a beer right now. Well, he needs to come back to the office because we're having an emergency. Yeah. It's not the way it works. Okay. Your idea of working hard is completely fucking different, and you're holding people to a completely different fucking standard. But Namathon, was that the Ain't It Cool news? It was before Harry Knowles got fucking canceled. I think a lot of us learn to try and save for the rainy days because of our parents who financed everything that bit them. Yeah. One thing I thought y'all younger robbed of vacations. My greatest, my great grandpa took me and my Gen X cousins on regular vacations every year, but my Gen X couldn't afford it for our kids because it's so fucking expensive. Think about going to Disney World now. You have to take out a fucking loan. You have to take out a fucking loan to go to Disney World. And that is for like a couple of days. Some of these people are going for a week, spending like 10 grand just to go to Disney. Why? Do what my dad did. Drop out of high school, get married at 20, get a union job straight away that trains you and gives you experience, and then buy a house for the lowest price you can offer for $35K. Work hard used to mean don't be late or drunk. Yeah, it's totally easy. Yeah, you're right. Trump administration declares brass instruments as a national security threat like a week ago. Wait, they did? Why? Do they want to keep them in so they could use the brass to make bullet casings? Like, what are we doing here? They had unions and worker protections that we all fought for, and then they stripped those before we could benefit from them. For my college tuition semester is $10K, over $10K. Yeah. Hey, fiends. No, I'll take it. I'm a fiend. And it's one of the more affordable schools in New York. Yeah, you're in New York. Unfortunately, that's the rough part. Hey, Katina. By the way, how are you doing? A neighbor rents furniture. You walk into her house. It's packed wall to wall with furniture. My house is sparsely furnished compared to hers, and she pays for it monthly. What the fuck? And if it's a rent-a-center, those people are fucking robbing you blind. You might as well take out a loan because it's cheaper to buy the furniture that way than to go through rent-a-center. You like my hat? Thank you. It is a Meow Wolf hat. Brass instruments are dangerous. There once was a man from Wait. Shut the fuck up, man. Lightning shot out of his ass. Fucking stupid. My mom's nursing school was $400 a year. Jesus, man. $400 fucking a year. I'm not reading your fucking limerick. Your dirty limerick. Dirty limerick writing, motherfucker. Disgusting. Disgusting. Do you guys think it's wrong that I've given up on ML? Oh, I talked about it earlier. I'm no longer watching this conversation. I think this is going to be the last. I've got 2 videos, and one is going to be tangentially referencing the necessary conversation. I'm just done. They keep asking her the same shit, and then on top of that, she's just getting worse and worse and worse. And it's like, fuck it. Like it doesn't. It just feels like we're just slowly just getting this thing dragged out. You know. And no. And by the way, Cantina, if people want to watch it, like by all means, keep watching it. But yeah, for me, it's like, ugh. It says brass instruments materials make them eligible to be tariffed. And because their only reason to heal the tariffs is national security, brass instruments are made of yellow cake and sarin gas. Oh my fucking... Okay. Boomer hoarders equal negative feedback. It's not wrong to give up on ML. We all knew we would have to. We just held off on that so we could enjoy the show. I did too. I was at a point where I think when she started going off on Mamdani and then talking about people praying in the streets who are Islamic, I was just like, I'm done. I cannot continue to keep broadcasting this type of bullshit racism anymore. It's just bullshit, you know? About a $1,400 sofa in 2014 made in North Carolina from Lazar Industries. The dogs have done a job on the upholstery, and I'm just trying to decide whether I want to pay to reupholster it or just buy new. Did anyone catch Chad's talking about it on Sunday? He did cover it at least. Yeah, he said he thinks Mary Lou's changing, but it's Bob that's really holding her back. And I'm like, okay. I read that. I'm like, yeah. She also never paid parking and would park in a fire lane because she didn't like or feel safe parking in a far lot. She only got tickets once a semester. My parking was more than her tuition, and they would have towed my car straight out hour 1 if I parked it otherwise. Yeah. That's a tough call, Cherish. I'm not sure what I would do about that. Maybe look at reupholstering. Compare prices. Yeah, I know that can save you some money. But I also know if you get it done, sometimes it can be hard. It really depends on what you want to spend. I feel like it's starting to give me trauma watching her seem hopeful and then change back yet again. It feels like trauma bond with the back and forth. I look, I have been down the rabbit hole with people like Mary Lou in the past, and they say things to you and make you think like, oh, things are gonna get better. And what she's doing is exactly that. She sees or hears something that reinforces her biases, and then she just walks everything back. She just walks it all back, literally. And I don't have time anymore for that type of bullshit. Now, the person who I did not even mind being on the show was Bob, because at least Bob was fucking just who he is. You know? He was funny to watch because you can laugh at someone who's fucking insane. But Mary Lou's sad. And that, I think that's the issue I have with the show. It is sad. And it is depressing. Because she just, they are not doing, in my personal opinion, they're not doing anything to either A, figure out if what she's saying she actually believes, or she's just like a sociopath and she just is fucking like, she doesn't care. I personally think she doesn't care. But you have to do something. You need to do something to further the conversation along. And that is remove the kids from the conversation at least once a week and have someone come in and talk to her once a week. And if she doesn't change her mind after that, then we can all just fucking go like this. She's a sociopath. We can move on with our lives. We're done. She's a narcissist. We can move on. Whatever we want to call her, we can do that. And I said it before, like one of the video ideas I had was literally just taking the same questions they've asked over and over and over again and literally playing them one after another just to show the last like 6 months has just been her getting asked the same fucking 20 questions. But I really don't feel like putting that much more time into content. I have one video that I'm in the process of finishing up, and I'm like, I think I'm going to do one more, and it's going to be my send off, my like, hey, it's me on camera talking about this, and I'm going to give you the reason why I'm not doing more necessary conversation related content, and then move on. You're hoping someone in your life leaves MAGA, hinting on what happens with Mary Lou, on what might happen with your people. A lot of us are doing that. Everyone is different, remember? Yeah, I mean, my thing is, though, like, I have people in my life that are red hats, is what I call them at this point. Because, you know, it would be nice to have a civil conversation, but you can't have a civil conversation with anyone who is currently, you know, endorsing this thing, because they get defensive. I'm not defensive because I can answer a lot of the questions. Like, why did you vote for Biden? Why did you vote for Kamala? Like, that's my options. You voted for Trump because you liked what Trump had to say, and you stand by him, and that is weird. That's weird fucking behavior. If I was necessary conversation, I'd pull back, let some tension build, and choose my moment. My thing is, like, they are pouncing on a woman who, first of all, does not have the verbal communication skills to legitimately have a conversation. So you're just beating a fucking. It's like Michael Jordan. I almost said Michael Jackson. Michael Jordan playing against a toddler. You know, like, you know who's going to win the conversation. The toddler might have something to say about it, but you know who's winning. Mary Lou being the toddler, by the way. Very necessary deja vu. Local weed. No, I'm hoping everyone leaves it. Yeah. She shut down. Yeah. I don't know what you're. Not the deep one. Oh, no. I don't think anyone's trying to do it. Yeah, I'm more sad about her backslide. Sad for Chad and Haley watching them lose their mom, but I feel pity for ML. I don't even feel pity. Where's your default brain setting? Never get updated. Bless her heart. I seriously give zero fucks about ML's opinion on anything. Yeah. You will know them by the marks on their foreheads. Yeah, red hats, bruh. Hey, head stuck up the poop chakra. grabbed by a celebrity in the soft parts above and below. I think that is the thing that is the grossest part about it, is like, this guy is a scum fucking like reality TV star, and you think he's a good fucking politician? He's a good businessman? You're fucking high. You're higher than I've ever gotten, and I've gotten pretty fucking high. I got told it depends on what info you're listening to, as if there was some conspiracy against Trump to make him look bad and blame him for the things he brags about. Okay. I listen to a lot of different information, not just fucking left-leaning talking points. It's literally all over the place. I got told, okay, hold on. I literally think we should take their questions and reply back to them. If you're talking about like MAGA, I think the thing that you have to come at them with is logic. And if they try to straw man an argument or move it into a different direction, you have to just bring it back to the original point of like, well, can you explain this? Can you help me understand why you feel that way? Teen, she should do a reaction to a video to one of Joel's lives. Man, I think they would bounce real quick. They would bounce real quick. My guy does that too. Hunts that he agrees with what I'm saying. Hints that I agree with what I'm saying. Then he spouting weird racist, sexist shit online. So he's still far gone. Tricks me sometimes is all. Yeah. I'm lucky I don't have to deal with that. MAGA hates logic. They do. I never thought ML would change. She is who she is. I've never thought that either. There was a video where I said, it was called On the Cusp of Change. And I thought, like she's doing better. And then I had a moment, and I want to say it was during the sit down where Haley and Chad were with her, with ML. And it was after Bob got sick. And I went, something's not right here. Like something was not clicking mentally. And I started asking the question of like, why is she so antagonistic towards Haley? And then 2, why is she denying that she was ever MAGA? And I'm like, something's wrong here. Like something feels like off. And then I started like asking the question, I'm like, why is she lying? Like what is the point of lying? And I think that is where my distrust of what was happening started kind of sinking in a little bit. And then the other thing too is when I was brought up by name on the Peppermint episode, I was like, oh, this bitch is a fucking she's vindictive. And that's when I went, okay, like I don't trust anything she's saying. I think she's fucking vindictive, and I think she takes things personally. And there's nothing about her changing here. There's not. She says the things that everyone wants to hear, but there's always this fucking little twist at the end where you're like, what the fuck is going on here? It's one thing to have a conversation with someone about each other's opinions, and another thing entirely to listen to each other's exchanging their opinions about your opinions. I agree with that. But I don't think they're okay. I don't want to sound cruel or mean, but I don't think they would be in a place to take criticism and take it objectively. They're set in their ways to defend a pedophile that bombs children overseas, and they will be treated as such. Yeah. I mean, I hate MAGA's responses to the free healthcare thing, always saying, yeah, but the quality of our care would go down. What care? 95% of us hold off on seeing a doctor until it's almost too late. Honestly, even if you schedule a doctor's appointment, you have to wait a couple months to actually have that appointment filled anyway. So, yeah. Someone threw water on her and she melted. I talked someone out of wearing their Cleveland Indian shirt, convinced them it's not worth the sideways look and potential drama, acted like I'm the dummy somehow, like they're being oppressed. The thing is, they've been conditioned to think that those things are not racist, which they are. They're inherently fucking just awful. And using the term Indians in general is just so offensive too. You know, like you're gonna change the name of the fucking baseball team. I think it's a baseball team to the Native American the Cleveland Native Americans. It doesn't roll off the tongue, first of all, and second of all, it's like no, like get the fuck out of here. You know, get over this shit, dude. Not you, but them. They need to get over the fuck. It's bad. It's offensive. It's just bad. They got old parents, and as such, I tell you, mom would Dexatrim you into non-existence if she can. Damn. Thinks you should get Anne, the spider cultier, on this show to mix things up and confuse ML into the right's playbook is to disagree with everything, and the left says no matter what. Okay. Yeah, it is. I mean, that's their playbook in general. Yet the Red Hats are saying socialized healthcare is worse than what we already have. Laugh my fucking ass off. Fucking idiots for so many reasons. They are the dumbest fucking people in the fucking free world. And I think there's a portion of them that know exactly what they're saying. There's a portion of them that actually believes the bullshit. We get the same way with the Chiefs tomahawk chop tradition. That is also that's bad. I think a lot of MAGA wants to argue, fling about whataboutisms, and try to play stupid games instead of just sticking to one topic at a time. So straightforward answers back at them might help some. I think you can actually. I think the show actually proves that you can do something completely fucking different with the show. Which is you could, instead of having a I'm right, you're wrong conversation, have a hey, help me understand why you see it this way. And maybe you can listen to me and I can kind of explain to you why I see it that way and why this is either A, offensive, or B, not helpful. Screaming or talking over someone does not help a conversation, and it puts people on the defensive. I've said this for a while now that ML is not someone who is able to take direct criticism because she gets offended. And especially from her kids, she gets butthurt, like supremely butthurt. Bro, my mom is Native American, and wearing those fucking Cleveland Indian jerseys is literally getting put on a t-shirt. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, those should be just... Anyone who's wearing them should have them just ripped completely off their body and then burned. I have an issue with my foot. It's been 10 years. I probably never get it fixed. So many issues. When the doc asks, I say, how many am I allowed to complain about to you? They only allowed a couple. Yeah. I've had a few where they've told me, like, you need to schedule another appointment. I'm like, but I'm here right now. Not that it matters, but ML definitely... off a gummy yesterday. Oh yeah. No. I don't think she's taking the gummies anymore, and I think she probably got shit from Bob for taking them. When Bob started noticing, like, you look fucking high. I know someone like this. ML sudden change about universal healthcare was about her own selfishness. Yeah, and that bothers me. So she's so entitled. 100%. She was kind of for it when, like, they were on Hassan's show, but I think she also was blinded by the fact that it was Hassan. Integration of theory and practice from the Free Congress Foundation. MAGA people love their shitty gotchas. Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. And they're not even good gotchas either. Gotcha, bitch. I got told I'm getting old the last time I went to the doctor at 23. Imagine going at 40, 41. It's rough. I had a colonoscopy beginning this year, and it was one of the weirdest moments when the doctor's like, "Oh yeah, you don't have to see us for another 10 years, but everyone's got colitis." Like, okay, thanks. Like, yeah. I'm like, cool. What do I need to do? Fiber. Just eat more of it, dude. That's all you got to do. I'm like, all right. So I feel like an old person now because I just fucking eat benefiber. Because the other doctor that I had was like, you need to be doing benefiber, not Metamucil. The hospitals do need a fixing. They do. Oh my god. All right. I think I'm going to open up a maybe a request form or something like that. I'm tired of fiber maxing, Grandpa. I'm at a point where I'm like, man, fiber's expensive. Do I need to keep doing this? I might open up a forum for suggestions, like, you know, if like there's content we want to watch or things like that. I don't know. I can actually probably set that up now. And eating Walmart shredded wheat, fiber, no sugar. Damn, dude, that's rough. Going through a doctor issue right now, and my doctor can't do shit to help me because of our healthcare system. Although my doctor is far from a red hat and tells mothers who won't let their kids get vaxxed, you're a horrible mother and you don't love your kids. Fuck yeah. We need doctors like that. I don't care if they vote red or not. We need doctors like that. Women's healthcare consultations equal eat more protein, lose a little weight. Men's as well. Colon blow. Yeah, colon blow is fucking a classic. I love my doctor for that. She told me last week, by the way. That's what I said to her too. Yeah. Fuck yeah. On Provo? No, I did see the thumbnail for it. I did see the thumbnail. I gotta go see him. Goat shit 2.0. I'll be back soon. I'll rewatch the rest. I'm probably gonna head out in a few. I'm gonna make dinner, I think. I kind of started a little bit earlier because I was like, oh yeah, I'll get Suzanne didn't have her thing today, so I was like, okay, I'll start a little bit earlier. But I think I will be on. I think I'm gonna be on Thursday. So Thursday afternoon, right around like maybe 12:30. 12:30? I don't know. But I guess while we're hanging out, I'll do this. I'll create a goddamn thing while I'm hanging out with you. Bring out everyone. This was very therapeutic. No, so the thing is, like, I want to do this more often. Like, I like this. We typically, when we're watching the Necessary Conversation anyway, when we were on here, like, we were not even paying attention to it. We would just exclaim, like, okay, she's being stupid. Like, this bitch is being dumb, you know? But the reality is, like, look, I think most of this is, like, us just hanging out, having a good time. If there's something we need to look at, we get to watch it if we want to. Yeah, smart, respectable people need smart, respectable people. Yeah. Love how chill everyone is. Yeah, I think for me, I want to separate the Necessary Conversation and all that shit, you know? I'm tired of it, too. There's just so many people who fucking just glaze them. And I'm like, guys, like, we're watching the same episode over and over and over again. I mean, the editing proves that I have been doing. Like, we're dealing with the same shit, you know? Being respectful since I make inappropriate jokes all the time. Well, I mean, look, you're not being mean. Be different. It'd be different, okay? It'd be different if you were being legitimately, like, crude and foul. But we said it best when he said, I'm afraid of Americans. You know, Lost Highway soundtrack, right? I mean, I used to listen to that fucking song all the time. I agree with him. Too bad he's gone. I really wish he was still here. About to go insane because I'm surrounded by red hats. Thanks, everyone in here for being so awesome. It makes my day better. Yeah. And now, super cool and blow. All right. We will be back. I think I'm gonna aim for 12:30 on Thursday. We'll be on until about, I'm gonna say 4 that day. And then Friday, I think I might do something. I don't know if I've got something going on there, but I'll keep everyone posted. How does it mean to showcase someone else's hypocrisy and nonsense? Touche. No, I don't know. It's more for me. If I'm saying I'm feeling, it feels kind of mean doing it. I'm talking more from me. I don't personally like being like, I don't like dumping on someone over and over and over again, and it feels like an easy target for ML. It like I said, it feels like you're slam dunking on fucking a child and you're Michael Jordan, you know? ML is a sad person though. That's what she is. And to pile on just a little bit more, she's just the dumbass, you know? She's a dumbass who can vote and who has millions of dollars. He fucking sucks. He fucking sucks. I agree. Yeah. But yeah, it does feel like you're like punching down. So I would rather aim my like anger at like Congress, APAC, and the politicians that no one is paying attention to, because the reality is that those are the people who are fucking shit up. Half of that will go into MTG cards someday. Half of it will. Who's saying it doesn't already? The other half into flour and sprinkles. You know? Marjorie Taylor Greene cards, 100%. 100%. All right. Let's get the fuck out of here. You guys are great. Love you. I will see you all Thursday. Seriously, get some rest, drink some water. But I'll be around. If you're not part of the Discord server, come join it. Also, PS, if you go to the website right now, it's going to be like that for a bit, but it's going to be changing over the next couple of weeks or so. I'm finalizing some other business-related things that might change the URL, well, the layout, but I just want to keep everyone afloat on that one. It'll still be the landing page for a lot of our stuff, but it might be named something different. JBS might be the moniker, but yeah. ML will never leave MAGA. She has no critical thinking skills. Needs to diversify her news intake. I think she needs to get off of Newsmax and learn how to research. That's my take on that one. Thanks for entertaining me on my ride home. Hey, thanks for entertaining me just sitting in my chair. Ribbons, I appreciate you. Everybody, have a good night. See you soon.